you don't have to listen, you don't have to wait. It's in you, take a stand, come alive. Get up and shine, get up and shine. You're a star, you know that. You're young and smart, you're young and smart. It's the time to show the world you're amazing. There's nothing too hard if you try. Prosperity lies within you. Wanna be great someday? Take a step today. Have to lie all day. Get up and be great. Have to lose, come make a move. You can take control today. Take your life away. Prosperity lies within you.
Everything seems really hard, like there's no way.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. You see, on this mic, send your music to these front speakers.
But you don't have to listen, you don't have to wait. It's in you, take a
Hello,
stand,
Early
come
Millionaires.
alive.
Are you
Get up and shine, get up and shine.
millionaires? Are you excited? Hello, early millionaires. Are you excited? Come on, make it louder. Are you excited? My name is Idon, and I'll be your guide throughout this event. Fasten your seatbelts as we go on this journey together. But before we commence, just a few things. Are you ready? Number one, I'll introduce you to our mantra all through this conference. Anytime you hear Early Millionaires, your response should be big things only. Can we try it now? Early Millionaires. Shouldn't because I default. I say if I shout early millionaires, making a respond, or else we go enter the same trouser. Oh yeah, early millionaires! Sorry for the breaking transmission. I was hacked. That was not me, I promise. Number 2, ensure you keep all your personal belongings with you and be vigilant at all times in this conference. Number 3, at random times and sessions, kindly take photos of the event and share on your Instagram status, tagging us at Bulu Kwande and at cufs.c. And lastly, this conference demands your attention, your engagement, and your hunger for success. Don't come expecting shortcuts. We're here to challenge you, push you out of your comfort zone, and make you realize your true potential. Is that okay? Focus your eyes on the screen. Let's count down to start the conference together. I'll give you a while to bring out your devices to record this moment so you can share on Instagram and tag us. Early millionaires, are you ready? Come on, make it louder. Early millionaires, are you ready? Let's count down together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Early millionaires! Hello, early millionaires. Are you excited?
Wow. Omo, this is so beautiful to see. I can see a lot of amazing millionaires in the house. Can you smell that?
Yes.
I can smell mint. I can smell money. I can smell ambitious people. I can smell people that know what they want to do in lives. Please put your hands together for yourselves. You guys definitely understood the assignments. You all look beautiful today.
Early millionaires. Nah, it was that wasn't loud enough.
That energy is too low. We need energy.
Early millionaires. If truly you are for big things, make the big things loud. Early millionaires. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Early Millionaires Conference. But it's very important that we start with God, as Christian students were made to know that blessings of the Lord added rich, right, and makes no sorrow. So taking us further in this program, let's put our hands together for the Assistant Student Chaplain, BC Adewale. Praise.
Praise God. Please join me, rise up on your feet around this room as we pray. And you can close your eyes. Father, in Jesus' name, Lord, we thank you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies towards us. To you alone be all the glory in Jesus' name. Father, we pray that as we commence this event, we decree and declare that we learn, unlearn, and relearn in the name of Jesus. And Father, whatever you have in store for each and every person is given to each and every person in the name of Jesus. For it's in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. We declare this meeting open and this conference open in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Jam your hands together for Jesus. Early millionaires. Oh, I need energy, please. Early millionaires. Jam your hands together for Jesus.
Thank you so much for that prayer, sir. Please put your hands together for the Assistant Student Male Chaplain. Future millionaires in the house. Did I just say future millionaires? I learned that affirmation comes before manifestation. So if you know you're a millionaire in the house, kindly put your hands together for yourselves. Make it louder, make it bigger, because you're actually millionaires. I'm happy all of you are here today.
I'm so sorry. They said early millionaires and Zenith Bank customers are also clapping their hands. What happened? Which bank is the best? Stanbic. Somebody say Stanbic IBTC.
Put your hands together for Stanbic
our sponsor,
IBTC.
Stanbic IBTC Bank. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed participants, and kings and queens. A good morning to you all, and I would like to welcome you all to the Early Millionaires Conference. Please put your hands together for yourselves. All right. Like we said, it is the Early Millionaires Conference, and we are here for one thing and one thing only: big things only. Somebody say big things only.
Big things only.
I classify this conference very, very important because we will delve into the ever-evolving landscape of finance and explore its limitless possibilities. I believe that in this age of globalization, finance is the helm of our interconnected world. Finance fuels economies. How many of us believe that? Finance breeds innovation, and finance will shape the future that we all desire. But you know the exciting part? Somebody asked me why. Somebody asked me why. The exciting part is that we all, as a next generation of leaders, will be the ones at the center of it all to steer this world to the wealthier world that we desire. So you guys are very, very important. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Somebody say, I be wealthy, Idon. Say, I'm a wealthy Idon. He don't know they do thousands. Somebody say, he don't know they do thousands. Somebody say, he don't know they do hundreds. Waiting, he don't they do. Waiting, he don't they do. All right, beautiful. Put your hands together for yourselves once again. All right, so we all should be excited because today we find ourselves in the midst of knowledge and expertise. We'll be bringing about industry personnel that have experience in the finance world, practical solutions, people who have graduated from the realms of poverty or even no poverty to current millionaires. And we all here will walk out of this conference as millionaires. How many of us believe that? How many of us believe that we'll walk out of this place as millionaires? All right, so my name is Gini Kachuku Tabo. I'll be your host for today, and co-hosting with me is the beautiful and the elegant Jeniola. Please put your hands together for Jeniola.
Thank you, Gini Kachuku, for that amazing and intelligent introduction. The Covenant University Finance Society brought this amazing conference together because they want to bridge the gap between theory and practical. They want to make sure that finance is very realistic in our everyday lives. It's not something that we can just see in the air. It's actually something that is very practical. There are different departments in the CU Finance Society. We have the FinTech, we have the alternative investments, we have the investment banking, and we have the management consultants. Please put your hands together to the brains behind the Early Millionaires Conference, which is the CUFS. Like Gini Kachuku said, my name is Jeniola, and I'm going to be your host for today. Gini, please take us further.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've tried. Put your hands together. Clap for us now. Clap for us. Thank you very much. You see, this conference serves as a beacon of enlightenment, embracing the notion that knowledge is the key to unlocking financial success. We're here to unlock financial success while on campus. But you see, we want to do a very, very small exercise. Somebody say a small exercise. But it's not going to be embarrassing, right? We will not embarrass anybody here. Now, there are 4 categories of bank accounts. Somebody say 4 categories of bank accounts.
4 categories of bank accounts.
There is the early millionaire. Now, there is I'm doing well. There is God, I beg. And there is
I think you should
How many of us know the values for this account? The early millionaire, 1 million and above. How many of us are here?
Please make some noise.
1 million and above. Let me see you.
Love it.
We might as well change this conference to the Billionaires Conference since all of us are millionaires, right? Oh yeah, let's be honest with ourselves. I'm doing well. How many of us are doing well? 100 to 500K. I'm doing well.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
I chop 3 square meals. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
In this economy, you're actually doing
Then
well.
God, I beg. 20 to 70K. God, I
Be real
beg.
with yourself. Oh.
20 to 70K.
Be real.
20 to 70K. Then, See that babe there? See how she's smiling? Say, they've got me. So I say, is like 3K to 10K. Who is yeah? You see, as a Stanbic IBTC customer, you cannot fall into they will delete your account because our sponsors are here present. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Early Millionaires Conference.
You're welcome.
All right, taking us further in this program, we'd like to invite the head and the president of the CU Financial Literacy Committee. Put your hands together for Faraday, even as he welcomes us. Faraday.
Good day, everyone. All protocol duly observed. Speakers, esteemed delegates, and our kings and queens in Hebron. A warm welcome to everyone, to each and every one of you to the prestigious finance conference. Together we gather here representing diverse background and expertise to explore this dynamic framework of personal finance and its profound impact on the youth in today's world. At TUFS, we believe that the wealth creation obeys specific laws and principles, and our aim is to educate and equip every fellow student to observe these principles in achieving financial success. Our ultimate objective is to see young people legitimately build wealth, and we believe that this conference will provide a platform to achieve this vision. Can we all rise up on our feet as we receive the Dean of CMSS, who is representing the Vice Chancellor, to officially declare this program open, please? Please, let's invite the Dean.
Good morning, all. Please have your seats. Good morning, everyone. I must commend the effort that is put into this to bring everyone on board. The field of finance, it's not only our passion, it's also a career for us. And today you're going to be learning a lot of things that will help you to grow wealth. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I'm standing. He brings his warm greeting. I would have loved to be here this morning, but for other official assignments, he's not able to be here. But I'm going to be reading his remark, okay? And then you learn from the message he's trying to pass across. It's in total support of what you are doing here. And for us in the Department of Banking and Finance, thank you for the group that have put this together this morning. So this is the Vice Chancellor's message. Please listen attentively. I want to say a big thank you for everyone that is here this morning. I observe protocol. The Chancellor of Covenant University, Dr. Bishop Oyedepo, to the Pro-Chancellor of Covenant University, Bishop Abioye, the Vice Chancellor, I am here representing him in this position, to the Registrar of Covenant University, Mrs. Regina Toby Davids, the professors in Covenant University Management, the esteemed speakers for today. We appreciate everyone that has come out this morning on this occasion. I am pleased to welcome you all to the Covenant University Finance Society 2023 Annual Conference with the theme, Early Millionaires, Framework for Financial Success. The theme of this conference is quite stimulating, looking at the demography and trajectories of some billionaires in our contemporary times. Most of them become self-billionaire in their mid-30s and 40s. We can therefore draw some lessons from their experiences as we briefly look at a few of them. Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook co-founder and CEO, became a millionaire in 2006 at the age of 22. At the age of 23, Facebook IPO made Zuckerberg the youngest self-made millionaire in history. As of May 2023, Zuckerberg's net worth was estimated at $85 billion, according to the Forbes real-time billionaire, making him. This makes him the 14th richest person in the world. Larry Page, Google's co-founder, earned the first million in 1999 at the age of 25. The company's IPO in 2004 set his net worth at 1 billion, making him a self-made billionaire at the age of 30. As of April 2023, Page has an estimated net worth of 95.8 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, making him the 8th richest person in the world. Evan Thomas Spiegel, co-founder and CEO of Snapchat. He became a billionaire in 2013 at the age of 23 through hard work and wise investment. The value of his Snapchat shares reached 1 billion, making him the youngest billionaire in the world in 2015. According to Forbes, as of March 2023, he had a net worth of 2.7 billion. Bill Gates, Microsoft co-founder, became a self-made billionaire in 1981 at the age of 26. Thanks to Microsoft IPO, the value of his shares surpassed 1 billion by the time he was 31, making him the youngest billionaire ever at that time. As of March 2023, Gates has an estimated net worth of $116 billion, making him the 4th richest person in the world, according to Bloomberg News. 41. All the billionaires mentioned in this note have something in common. They had ideas, collaborated with others to develop the ideas into value-added products, commercialized and market the product for pecuniary profit, and manage and invest wisely their financial proceeds. Also, according to Raphael Bakhtia, who interviewed 21 billionaires for his book, The $1 Billion Secret, most billionaires earned their first $1 million by founding their business through diligent investments. Furthermore, they engage prudent management, financial discipline, diligence, tenacity of purpose and sacrifice, and above all, a genuine hallmark of great self-discipline. These attributes align with words of Nathan M. Morris, the best-selling author of The Art of Getting Money. The speed of your success is limited only by your dedication and what you are willing to sacrifice. It is gratifying to note that these virtues are all embedded in Covenant University 7 core values and entrepreneurial curriculum, which makes a Covenant University student better equipped to achieve better financial society and success at a very early age. I also believe that Covenant University Finance Society Annual Conference offers a platform for students to engage industry experts in stimulating discussion about financial literacy and networking that will benefit participants, academics, and professionals in today's conference. Finally, I congratulate Covenant University Finance Society and all participants at conference for a successful deliberation in advance. Please use the platform of the conference provided to network with members of the industry as well as within the university to enhance your financial growth. I wish you great success, and I look forward to seeing your communique from this conference. Thank you. Okay, so those are the message of the Vice Chancellor to you today. And
4 clients. I had enough money to build my own website. Later started building website for people. And by 2015, we're one of the biggest in the whole of the country. In fact, we handle, at that point, we started having multinationals as our clients. And 2015, we moved into real estate. Real estate then took us to the next level. Today, one house, please. Years that will turn you to a millionaire will not come. One of the things I often share with people is that you hear give and you shall receive. Many times when you give, God won't give you money. He will give you ideas. Let's celebrate Pastor Steve Oga. Okay? So God will give you ideas. He won't give you money. So oftentimes as I serve God, God started giving me inspired ideas. A lot of the ideas that I execute today came in my toughest years in business, 2012. I lost our office in Ikeja here in Lagos. So the only job I could do, of course I was pastoring a zone not too far from Canaan land here. So I faced the job full time. I remember going to do evangelism in some members' house. I'll go and pray for them. And they would start mocking me. In fact, there was one, I prayed with her, I was going, only to turn my back to see her doing like this. Online, right? But I served God faithfully. Today, I'm enjoying the rewards. As a student on campus, my priority was God. Right? My priority was God. I took pastoring that fellowship as if it was my life. You can ask some of those who went to school with me. Right? I became a CEO on campus. And what was funny was that I had about 5 positions. I was pastoring my fellowship. I was head of, because in Winners, fellowship is under the church. So at the same time, I was pastoring, in charge of the drama unit. At the same, I was just, the joint fellowship again, I was heading a team. And I had 2 businesses I was running. I had a foundation on campus, and I had a business. I started organizing trade fairs. I started selling books. I started hawking electronics. I had a popcorn business, all on campus. So today, where God has taken me to was as a result of serving. Because as I was serving, I was learning how to also execute those strategies I was using in the things of God in my business. Are you learning at all? Come on, talk to me. Are you learning? Number 2 is you need to save. Right? It's important to understand the power of savings. This was when we had our first baby. Please, let me project it on the screen. And it was not far. The bells, not far there. And you can see how I look. Okay? Well, this was December, Christmas. I live in Burj Khalifa today. Right? The tallest building in the world. When we had this, no, it's not loud enough. Things takes time. Right? I love your slogan, Early Millionaires, big things only. But if you must pick any lesson from me today, you can do big things, but they must start small. They must start small. And that's what has been laying my heart to just keep showing you images. And I'll keep showing you images of where I was and where I am today. Because if we don't balance that conversation, a lot of people get into depression. You see people thinking, maybe I've missed it. No, there is a phase that you're doing everything right, but things won't grow yet. And here's the lesson here. Number 2S that you must learn is savings. Everybody says savings. While we're here in the Bells was when we started buying land. When they, rented if I remember when we opened our Ikeja office, I put in over 2 million to open an office, yet I rented a 200,000 naira house. And I will be taking Molue, I didn't have a car, from the Bells to Ikeja. I had days that I didn't have 200 naira to take Molue back. So I sleep in my office and then mosquito will design my body. But I started investing small at that level. Right? I could have afforded to live in Ikeja as at that time. But I understood the concept of your saving is actually what you pay yourself first. When you save, you are paying yourself first. Because there are several bills that will keep coming. Right? Every day, there are bills coming your way. And some of you who are in private university like this are much fortunate. Because even your allowance, if you really save it well, in your 4 or 5 years, you're already a millionaire. Do you agree with me? Come on, talk to me. You're already a millionaire if you save it well. Because the beginning of investment starts with savings. That's where it starts from. Everybody wants to have big investment. But if you do not save, the day opportunities come, you won't be able to take advantage of them. So it begins with your savings. Your savings culture is a must. We're in a commission that is big on savings. You heard God's servant always share about how more than, is it 70% of the ark, the money was ready before construction started. Savings. I'm very sure if not for savings, they wouldn't have been able to build CU. Savings. So this whole, I want to be a millionaire, it begins with saving. Of course, you will need to learn from Bolu about trade with Bolu and all that. But you need to save something first now. Right? That you then trade, isn't it, to something bigger. So, learn the art of savings. Number 3, very important principle that I want to share. Remember, what was number 1? Serve God, isn't it? Number 2? Number 3 is service and product. I've had to share this with a lot of Christians. I wish prayer and fasting will make you a millionaire, but unfortunately, no. It will not. Right? I wish so. I've said the same thing. I must give, I must tithe. Absolutely, you should. I'm here because of those principles. But what you do with your 90% is very crucial. If you tithe from now to tomorrow, you give from now to tomorrow, but you do not understand how to produce a product, a service, so that the windows of heaven will what? Bless that works of your hand. So I see many Christians having billions being released from heaven, but waiting for products and services to channel it into your account. I've always shared this story about one day we were done with 21-day prayer and fasting. The youth pastor here in Canada said, I felt led that we should all empty our account to Bishop. This was many years ago. How much did I have? 25,000 naira. That's all I had. Heaven and earth. Okay? Put it in the envelope. And then during offering, dropped it there. Monday, and that was the beginning of my turnaround. I got a call. We want to do bulk SMS, 30 million. I thought it was a joke because the voice of the person was like a baby. So, yeah, it was literally like a baby. So you won't believe 30 million. The highest transaction as at that time was maybe 1 million or 500,000. 30 million, like that. Tuesday, 30 million hit my account. GT Bank froze the account. Come and explain this money. You have never seen this kind of money before, so yeah, come and explain. And that was the beginning of the turnaround that you see today. So giving works. It's powerful. It works.
But if I did not have a product, how will the 30 million come, ladies and gentlemen? Will it fall down from heaven? So you need to have a product and service. Let me tell you this. It's a crime for you to be in CU and not have a product and service. It's a crime. Because you have a market of over 3,000 people. What's the population of CU? 7,000 people. That is money flying up and down. That's money. There must be a product and a service that you can sell. If you are serious about being a millionaire. A young man from CU, Isaac, he lives in my house. Started waffles. Maybe he's still here. I don't know if you know Waffles. What's his company name, sir? Isaac. Waffles Dom. How many waffles do we have? Companies do we have? I thought it's the only one. Oh, you have two now. Competition. We'll talk about that later. Right? And when Isaac started this waffle, I told him, you can turn this thing to a whole franchise. Right? This can be big thing for you. Because all this, I'll get a job. There's no job out there anymore. When CU started, companies, you remember now, banks, they are ready to snatch everybody graduating, isn't it? But today, the jobs even the banks are not paying that like they used to. So you have to sit down here and say, how can I come up with a product and a service while I'm on campus? While on campus, I hawked electronics. While on campus, I sold popcorn. While on campus, I sold both physical books and e-books. I organized trade fair on my own campus, even in this CU. I used to bring a lot of people to come and do your trade fair. Come and do trade fair here. Let me tell you this, very important. If you hate selling, you have written formal letter to poverty. Right? And it's my quote, write it down. If you hate selling, you have what? Written formal letter to what? To poverty. Everybody that is great is selling something. Ronaldo is not the best football player, but he's the best marketer of the football itself. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Ronaldo understands how to turn himself to a brand. Maybe until recently, I'm very sure they used to pay Ronaldo more than Messi. I know some of you like Messi. But I'm telling you just from brand perspective. Because you are not just a businessman, you are the business. And you must understand the concept of branding. One of the things that the Jew has done is to be able to market the gospel of Jesus in its simplicity that you can see the millions coming to Jesus through him. Am I making sense at all? But it is still marketing, nonetheless. We say our Father in the faith. Go everywhere, preaching the gospel of Jesus. It is marketing still. And using all manner of methods. Flyers. One-on-one, word of mouth. Referral. If you're a church member of Winners Chapel, you are the referral. Isn't it? Bring them. Compel them to come. Command them. Oh, you guys are not feeling me. Are you here? Hey. So the same model, if I tell a lot of that, if you are a member of Winners Chapel and your business is struggling, you need to check very well. Because if you just turn the same evangelism principle to your business for marketing, you will explode. Just put it. The same principle. So you must have a product and service if you want to be a millionaire. You must have that. And you must learn how to market it. Number 4, S, sacrifice. Everybody say sacrifice. Come on, make it louder. Perception. You have to sacrifice looking rich and then focus on actually being rich. I wish I was able to get, one of the pictures I wanted to show you was a picture of me on campus. I looked tattered. I was always on palm slippers that had been patched. My shoe had been patched. Everybody knows my clothes. I practically had 2 clothes, two trousers and maybe five shirts. And it wasn't because I wasn't earning something. But I would have used it to buy books, go for seminars, Come back, they say, they've deceived you, all these people, all these motivational speakers. They cannot even pity that you're a student. They've collected your money. And my colleagues will mock me. That mockery, like Bishop will say, has turned to my making today. Right? If you want to clap well. You will lead them. Right? So it's important to understand that. So you need to focus on actually being rich, not to look like it. Do you know that a lot of your colleagues, if you ask them what you wore yesterday, they can't remember? Save that money and actually invest it. Learn. Build something. If you start buying Tesla shares, now you can buy fractional shares. Do you know that? Of Amazon, of all these big companies. You can start $50. You are buying fractional shares instead of buying 2 more shirts, 2 more shoes. I often say this: poor people buy what they don't need to impress people that don't care. Don't join them. Can I say that again? Poor people do what? Buy what they don't need to what? To impress people that do not what? Do you want to do that? Number C, still under sacrifice. Sacrifice playtime for pay time. This is your time to pay your dues. Pay what it requires to add what to your life and to your name. Add meaning. Add meaning. Add meaning. Let your name stand for something. Add what? Add what? So pay today so that you can play tomorrow. Play today so that you can what? Pay tomorrow. So this is your time to pay. So sacrifice the play. Sacrifice it. Let's play. No, I want to focus. Because there will be enough time to play. Right? In fact, if you are not careful, the play will be too much. I went on the fastest roller coaster with my children last month. Oh, Jesus. Yas Island, Ferrari World. By the time we came out, I was turning. I said, this play is doing me jedi now. It's too much. So you can play now, but pay today. Tell your neighbor, pay today, pay today. Come on. Tell them, pay today, pay today. D, sacrifice starting big for starting small. Sacrifice. Sometimes you may even afford to start, but start small. Because there's so much you will learn. There's so much you will be able to perfect. Right? There's so much mistakes you will make in your early days if you start small. Right? If you start small. But if you start too big, then you're in trouble. Next year, we're going to be expanding our operations big time in the US. We probably will end 2024 with not less than at least 60 to 70 staff in the US operations alone. But we've been knocking at the US, doing 1 or 2 things since 2015. I think I even met Pastor Steve 2015 in the US. Sacrifice starting big for what? For starting small. Starting small. Yes, you can afford the big things, but start small. I know that we're in this age, everybody wants to show it, want to blow. But if you blow, have you not scattered? Right? What's left? When you blow, you say all this blow, let's blow. Right? You've scattered already. Tell your neighbor again, start small, start small. Think big, grow fast. Come on, say louder, start small. Think big and grow fast. E, sacrifice comfort for serving others. A lot of times people don't know that entrepreneurship is about service. Most of us you call successful entrepreneurs today, we were serving people. We learn how to serve. Business is about serving. What we do in real estate is more of serving investors, protecting their interest. I tell people, they say Elon Musk, we read about Elon Musk, the dean read to us about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and they said they are the richest people in the world. That money they call $200 billion, $300 billion. You know what it means? It's a proof of the confidence that people have in them. Nobody really has money. Nobody came with money. When you are rich, people trusted you with their hard-earned resources as a function of what they have seen in you. Does that make sense at all? So it's important to know that you have to master the art of service, the art of serving people. What is the difference between an ordinary product and a luxury product? Can I get one of my books? I want to give somebody who can answer that question. What's the difference? A luxury product and just a normal product. What's the difference? Okay, like a normal wristwatch versus Rolex. What's the difference? Normal wristwatch versus Jacob and Co. Branding. Beautiful. What else? Quality. Who is bold enough to come and share his or her own value? That's what others have said. Bold enough. Come out. Yes.
Okay. The difference between a normal wristwatch and a Rolex wristwatch is the quality of the wristwatch.
Someone has said that.
That's what I said.
Another point.
Okay. Branding.
Another point. They've said that.
Rich people want to buy the Rolex wristwatch because they feel like it serves them more, and then the Rolex company has worked so hard to push their company out there.
Let me give her. She has tried. Remember, she was supposed to win the first book. Goodwill. Value. Yes. Thank you. Clap for them. Let me clap for them. Good job. Well done. The answer I'm looking for is actually customer service. Exceptional customer service. Exceptional. The Rolex wristwatch is the same plants in China they are doing it to. I hope you know. And when you get the China version that was made from the same factory, the price difference is huge. So the difference is when you enter Rolex office or shop or experience center, the honor, the way they treat you, the feel. So the difference between a normal product and a luxury service is exceptional service. Exceptional. The difference between a 1-star hotel, a 2-star hotel, and a 7-star hotel. Right? I've stayed many times in Burj Al Arab called the 7-star hotel. It's the normal hotel. The difference is the service. They will boast that if you need anything, in tickle of an eye, somebody is responding to you. Almost like a customized, a chauffeur experience. Are we learning at all? As we begin to round up, are we learning? So, service is how you move to the next level. Business is about serving people. The rare your valuable services, the more money you earn. So think about it. So everybody is selling something. How can I make it unique here and see you? Right? What extra service can I offer them? You have a market of 7,000 people. Aside the lecturers, aside other people who stay here, start thinking. That's money. I have a quote I always share with people. People equals money. I want everybody to shout it. Louder. Come on, it's not loud enough. People equal money. So anywhere there are people, there's money. Just think of exceptional service. So sacrifice comfort for serving other people. Instead of you just being comfortable, can I sacrifice my own comfort and serve people and get money in exchange for it? Next, number G, sacrifice office for street. Money is no longer in the AC. If God's servant can be going to the bridge to be preaching, you are sitting down there AC. The money is in the street. I was in London 3 weeks ago for my book signing, and my friend took me out to wash his car, and we came under this bridge, and this particular car wash, you would think you are in Nigeria, taking 20 pounds to wash cars. The guy would bring some guys from Europe to come and work for him. And what was shocking was a car that I saw. And my friend said to me, he said, that's the owner's car. This is like a 2023 latest BMW car. Owner of a car wash. And I'm talking of under the bridge car wash in London. He's making more money, are we together now, than the so-called, you know, as a matter of fact, in it does not pay anymore. Roll off your sleeves, right? The jobs that are paying well now. Look at what happened with Hilda. Some of you don't know what your parents suffered to send you to see you. They say, my mom is just a what do you call her? A cook. You can't even touch the name. It's a street side cook. But that street side cook sent you to see you. Take it to the next level. That's what Hilda has done. The mom was a cook, struggling in Abuja, sent her to a good school, but has taken that business to Guinness Book of Record. I see somebody doing that here. There's just no point. Your dad is a tailor. Start a fashion design business. Correct one. Package it well. Use the exposure you've gotten in CU to take it to the next level. Sacrifice office for streets. Everybody shout it. Go to the streets and make money. The money is no longer in the offices. It's in the streets. So go there. I've seen young people who will rather earn less in a bank, right? Just because there's office, there's this, right? Than other jobs like marketing. Sacrifice paid job for apprenticeship. You want to be an entrepreneur, you are leaving school, go and look for somebody to serve. One of my mentors is Cosmos Maduka. And I remember the last time we were talking, and he said something powerful to me of how those under him who came as apprentices. So when they were about leaving, he called them and said, guys, you can also leave me now and go and bake your own cake. Or you can remain here and we bake a bigger cake together. And you are co-owners. Today, that's a multi-billion-dollar company. But a lot of those young guys who are apprentices are co-owners with him today. Apprenticeship pays. I understand your parents spend millions to send you to school. But when you leave school, you have option between, right, getting so-called, blue chip job, particularly those of you who want to become entrepreneurs, versus go and look for somebody who is succeeding and work for them and learn and be an apprentice. How many of you have heard of John D. Rockefeller? Right? Good. There's so much that John D. learned from his father, even though the father was a con man. But he then, being that he had a spiritual background, right, was now truthful in his own approach. And he took the business to the next level. His son, most people don't know that the reason we know John D. Rockefeller today was because of John D. Rockefeller Jr. Because the son was the one that rebranded the father's name. He was the most hated man in America. The same John D. Rockefeller you're hearing. In his days. Because there was so much Great Depression in America, and this man was stupendously rich. So the son came about, started the foundation, rebranded the whole thing, and people started seeing them as givers. Are we learning at all? So apprenticeship. JP Morgan, I don't know if you know JP Morgan. Same thing. JP Morgan's father started investment banking. And JP Morgan went down history as the singular Federal Reserve. The person who started the whole concept of Federal Reserve Bank in America started with JP Morgan. When the country is in recession, they call JP Morgan and say, okay, come up with strategy to bail this sector out. One man. But those people all evolved through apprenticeship. They serve other people. They learn from some people. They sat down learning. So sacrifice paid job for apprenticeship. Tell your parents so. Some of them will tell you, oh, my daughter is in US. Tell mommy, daddy, I am going somewhere. At this phase of my life, I want to serve. Are you listening to me now? I want to gain, and I promise you I'll become great. But at this phase, let me learn. Let me serve. And one day I will stand on my own. Some of the things that Joshua is here, my assistant, some of the things that he knows today, he's almost 20 years ahead of his mate. Almost. Right? Joshua is closer to Dr. Cosmos Maduka than I am. And he's my PA. They talk more like friends. Because he had the opportunity to work, to serve as an apprentice. So by the time, maybe, who knows, some years later he wants to go and start his business, he cannot operate like everybody else. I'm making sense at all. There are people he will call, billionaires that he will call on phone and say, I've left my boss. There was no fight. You can ask him. This is my vision. Would they not support him? So be an apprentice. Have you gotten value today? Yes, come on, have you gotten value today? Yes, sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Last time I was with Bishop Abiy and we were talking, and I will never forget what he said to me. He said, I understand the pressure, to expand your business and need for loan. He said, but if you move at your pace, you will not lose your place. Powerful statement. That's why you need to sit down with elders and learn. I will never forget that statement till I die. He said, there are other of your colleagues who are doing this business who have taken loan, and they're under heavy pressure. If you move at your pace, you will not lose your place. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Everybody shout it. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. One more time. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Move at your pace so you don't lose your place. It's important to know that this journey of entrepreneurship is not 100 meters. Are we together now? It's not what? It's not 100 meters. It's a marathon race. So calm down. Build it block by block. There are 3 levels to every business, and it's important to share that. Number 1 is the starting phase. And what happened here is like a Chinese bamboo. You will plant the thing, you are putting water, nobody will see it. In my starting phase, most people don't know me. Right? And they don't even know anything. But I was planting. I was growing it. Number 2 is the growing phase. Now it begins to make sense. I always put it this way. Starting phase is 1 + 1 = -2. Does that make sense? Growing phase, 1 + 1 = 2, sometimes equals to 3, sometimes equals to 1. Right? It's growing. Then we have the exponential phase. Now, exponential phase is 1 + 1 = 1,000. You can't explain it anymore. And every business, every ministry had the same experience, including Winners Chapel. How many of you know Winners Chapel 1986? No, even if you were born, for our lecturers who are here, right? How many? Okay, let's bring it closer. Even 1995, how many of you know Winners Chapel? 1995. Am I making sense at all? But by the time the commission moved to Canaan land, it was exponential growth. So you will hear God's servant talk about how almost 20 years. How many churches, right? Then in 1 year, you plant churches that you have done in 30-something years. Exponential. You can't explain it anymore. And every business must go through these stages. So, tell your neighbor, relax. You are in your starting phase. It will still speak. Come on, tell your neighbor, relax. You are in your starting phase. It will still speak. So many young people give up on their business ideas. Give up on the business they are starting just because they are in the starting phase. And they say, but see that person. You see, they that compare themselves with themselves are but a what? But a fool. You don't come from the same background. You don't come from the same background. You don't come from the same... a lot of us have leverage. Some people are from wealthy homes. They got some support to move faster. But don't worry. You that you are from Paco home like you and I, time is coming. Your star will shine. Amen. Can I hear louder? Amen. Amen. A louder amen. Amen. Finally, sacrifice unforgiveness for forgiveness. If you're going to go far, right, forgiveness is a requirement for greatness. Unforgiveness is too much burden. Too much burden. Too much burden. Dr. Cosmos Nantuka was sharing with me how a man took $200 million. Everybody say $200 million. Because remember, you're a Christian. You can't do business the way everybody is doing it. And he guaranteed for this man. And then $200 million disappear. By the way, we can convert it to naira so that you understand the gravity of what we are talking about. $200 million gone. Gone. And he was now to pay. One day he said, he just signed the papers and said, I will start paying. Sold all his bank shares, did so much. At the point he now tried to even get the money back from the man wouldn't give. Some of you know the story. You can Google it. You know the story. But here's the funny thing about this story. He said, one day, I said, I'm a Christian. I have to forgive this man. So I went to his house. I said, I heard you. They said you use juju. Oh, yeah, bring food now. Let me eat your food. Let's see whether I will die. The man that took $200 million. Right? Today now, he forgave the man. Moved on. That could have killed him if he refused to forgive. Because the bitterness, the pain, the anger. If you will go far, you must live in forgiveness. I tell people, I learned that from Bishop. I practice advanced forgiveness. When you come into my life, I've already calculated the offenses you will do. And I'm forgiving you in advance. Okay? I am. Because I cannot go to hell because I'm putting one person in my heart. No, I've suffered too much. And I've also now enjoyed too much that I don't want suffering again. So, carry your Allah and go. Have you learned something today? Yes, is it worth it? Yes, are you sure? Yes, so, I have this offer for you guys. I've written something called the Billionaire series. I just finished my tour in UK and the US. So we have the Billionaire Habits, the Billionaire Code. If you see the Billionaire Code from Robert Kiyosaki, John Maxwell, Les Brown, everybody had a write-up about the book, right, on the cover, in terms of what they have seen about the book. So if you want the books, they are available for you today. How many copies do you have? How many copies? 12 copies. How many? So we only have one house, please. Hello? We only have 10 copies each of the books. We only have 10 copies each. So we will not be able to, the book can't go around, right? However, there is the digital copy as well. So you can just use the code CU offer and you'll be able to get it. But the code ends by 1 p.m. today, and the code is over. Yes. It's important to know that there is no way any man can teach you what they've learned in 15 years in 2 hours. Are we together now? There's no way. One of the statements somebody said to me, I can't remember the person. He said he met Bishop, and Bishop said, I think it was even Bishop that said it. I can't give you more than 2 hours of my time. Go and read everything in the book. Right? I didn't understand how powerful that statement is until today. With due respect, a lot of people want mentorship, but it's difficult to mentor today. So there are 2 platforms I've done. My books and something we call the Stephen University. It contains over 2,000 books. So complimentary for everyone getting the book, you will get 1 month access to Stephen University for free. You know, are you happy about that? And in the Stephen University, guess whose courses is there? Mine, Robert Kiyosaki, Cosmos Baduka. I'm not talking of online content. What the session we had together: Grant Cardone, Les Brown, Brian Tracy, who else? Right? Name it. John Maxwell, all of them. Right? I've been host. In fact, it cost us almost $1 million in terms of speaking fees that will pay some of these people to put that platform together. I want to encourage you to consume them. Please consume them. Consume them. I was on campus when I bought every of Bishop Oyedepo's books. Every MP3. Everything. I will buy. And then consume. Not just buy. Consume it. God bless you.
Please put your hands together for Dr. Stephen Akintayo again. That was a very insightful session.
Dr. Stephen studied microbiology in university, and we're all familiar with microbiology. They handle a lot of materials. Well, talk about waste to wealth. His message, I thought you guys didn't get it. His message was very, very important, and he said a lot about sacrifice starting big for starting small, sacrifice office for streets, sacrifice shortcut with steady motion, but most importantly, sacrifice unforgiveness for forgiveness. Somebody say sacrifice unforgiveness for forgiveness. So please, Kodi Chima, I was owing you about 2 days ago. Please do forgive me. All right, will you forgive me? All right, you guys tell her to forgive me. We are joined by a lot of guests right now. We have Mrs. Shola here present with us. We also have Pastor Steve Oga present with us.
Put your hands together for him.
And other distinguished guests. But they'll be joining us shortly after. We'll be inviting them with time. And we'll be going into a question and answer session. Jenny?
Yes, the question and answer session. I think you should write out your questions and pass it to the ushers around. We'll be patiently waiting for your... If you have a question already, just wave it.
Just 2 questions. Can
just
the ushers...
2 questions.
Remember what we heard about the first person to execute?
Okay, we have one person there.
All right, so please stand up. That's our first person there. We need a second person.
We need a second person.
Just
okay,
2
we have
questions.
Another person
all right,
here.
Thank you very much. Please stand up.
Just 2 people. So the ushers should kindly bring the questions forward.
Oh, can you come forward so you can ask your question? Please put your hands together for this final one.
It's not easy.
Good day, everyone. So my question is this: if you want to buy shares, or if you want to invest in shares, where do you start from? Where do you start from? because you need knowledge on it. Like, I want to make money, I want to invest my money in something that's going to profit me 10 years from now. And I say, oh, I want to start from buying shares. How do I go about that?
I thought I saw something like trade with Bolu. So, I'm sure that should be around trading and all of that. So, because, listen, I always tell people 2 P's you cannot afford to have: poverty and pride. Right? If your colleague in CU knows how to trade, go and learn from them. Right? But we have courses in the Stimacta University on trading as well. In fact, we had a guy who came, he has a portal of his own where he helps, you can even pay with Naira to buy shares of Apple, any of this platform. But there are a lot of credible people who train. You start with the training. Once you have the training, the good news is that there are apps now. You download the app, you can link your card to it, you buy what you want to buy, you're good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Our second question.
I thought an usher collector. You can bring the question.
Praise God. My name is Obatoniola, by the way. My question is, thank you. My question is, I have this pressing concern. It's about balancing career and business. Like, I have this goal. Like, I want to be a well-known person, like in terms of civil engineering, the world's greatest civil engineer. It's always been blowing in my mind for a very long time. And also having to run a business that would stand. Like, it sort of like confuses me. Is it business or career, or can I push it two at the same time? That's my question, sir.
Beautiful question, and that's a very good question. So it's important to know that, and Robert Kiyosaki talked about this, we have employee, self-employed, right? Business and investment. These are the 4 major ways you make money, right? Now, as an employee or as a self-employed, both parts cannot lead you to wealth. And I think we make this mistake a lot. So the so-called side hustle is still self-employment, and you still can't be rich that way. So what I advise people is that when you are in career, take a portion of your money and start investing to a point where the residual income you will be getting from an investment will be more than your salary. At that point, you can resign from your job and start self-employment. Nobody starts as a business from day one. It always starts as a self-employment, then it grows. So our company is 15 years tomorrow, but it started as a one-man business. Today now, I was not in Nigeria for 6 months. They bought more estate in my absence. Sometimes when I even tell people on social media, I say, I want to do this with your company, and I say, I'm not in charge. They think I'm lying. I'm not in charge of anything, right? The only thing I'm in charge of is marketing. That one I'm good at, right? And help the company raise funds. But I'm not in charge of construction. I'm not in charge of acquisition. I give guidance, I support, but I'm not. But when I started, everything was about me. So that would be my advice for you. Start with a great firm as an apprentice. Do you get it? The income you are earning, put it into investment. When the investment is giving residual income to the tune of your salary, resign your job, then start your own engineering firm if you really have passion for engineering, right? And gradually you grow the firm to become a business, because the difference between self-employed and a business is that when you run a business, with or without your time, right, the business can succeed. You put in a system that makes the business to work even when you're not there. Make sense?
Thank you very much, sir. In closing arguments, we would always hear, I believe with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and confuse you, or convince and not confuse. I believe that with these few points of Dr. Stephen, he has been able to convince and not confuse us on how to become early millionaires. In return, can we say thank you, Dr. Stephen? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate that. So how many of us know the book, The Richest Man in Babylon? How many of us know that book? Okay, that will be part of the books that we are giving away, but unfortunately, okay, so we are going to be asking a few questions to know your perspective on some things. So, Guinea, I think you should take that.
All right. So, now, on Twitter about a few months ago, there was this discourse that created a lot of arguments where they were saying, if you have the option of $1 million or dinner with Dangote, which would you pick? How many of us saw those conversations on, online? So I want to ask, these are practical questions right now, because we just finished speaking with Dr. Stephen. So what do you guys think?
And if you have a good excuse, a good reason why you're picking your option.
Oh wait, do you guys think that we all have the same answer? Let's try and see if we can chorus one answer before I go inside. All right, so $1 million or dinner with Dangote?
I'm hearing $1 million though.
One more time. $1 million or dinner with Dangote?
Wait. Let them say one by one.
$1 million or dinner with Guinea Kachukutago? Wow, I'm dropping this mic right now. Okay, so now let's get personal opinions. Okay. Let me just ask, everyone, $1 million or dinner. Who can answer? Who has something to say about this? All right. So, $1 million. And give us reasons why you would be picking one of them.
I'll pick dinner with Dangote because I will have proofs that I actually had that dinner with him. And then it will give me higher edge in the business world or whatever area I want to be. Through networking. That's connection and networking. So people will be willing to work with me, and then I'll have more than that $1 million.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for her.
Please put your hands together for her.
I mean, it's a fair point. If people see a picture with you and Dangote by a dinner table, they'll be like, oh, how did you get to go that? How did you get business clients for them? During the course of this conference, we'll ask more questions.
Okay, so moving on now, we all know the book Richest Man in Babylon, but definitely we are not in Babylon, we're in Hebron. We have somebody here to make us one of the richest in Hebron and beyond, and this is no other person, but someone that is also a pastor in this successful commission. The next person coming up is Pastor Stephen Oga. Please put your hands together for him.
But ladies and gentlemen,
fix your eyes on the screen.
Please let's fix our eyes to the screen for his citation. Let's fix our eyes to the screen for his citation quickly.
I stand.
Audio, please. Let's encourage TC. Let's encourage them. Great things take what? Time. Great things take time. The video is a big one. It's taking time. Starting from small.
He's passionate about grooming and building the generation of young godly leaders who will inspire others and make positive impacts. Pastor Stephen Oga. Pastor Stephen Oga, popularly known as Pastor Steve Oga, is a graduate of Covenant University. He was later called into ministry, and he is a pastor in Living Faith Church worldwide. He's passionate about grooming and building a generation of young godly leaders who will inspire others and make positive impacts in the world. He's married to Love Oga, and their union is blessed with a daughter.
Steve Oga.
Thank you for having me this afternoon. It's my privilege to be here, and by way of a slight correction, I'm blessed with 3 daughters, not 1. 3 beautiful daughters, including my wife, making them 4. Praise God. Well, my session will be very swift, and by the help of God, very pungent. Interestingly, as I walked in here today and heard Dr. Stephen share a few things with you all, I felt that he spied into my notes, because some of the things he talked about were things already on my slide. Interestingly, when he mentioned in 2015, when he came trying to break into the US market, we had sessions together thinking, I'm a pastor, but I think like a businessman. Because even if you excel in ministry, you must take it as business. So very quickly, I'll be sharing with us, and please listen very, very attentively. I'll be speaking from a perspective of someone like you seated here today. Because a few years ago, I was also on this campus as a student. 20 years specifically ago. And 20, 21 years down the line, God is doing some great things. And we know we are just starting. The journey has not even started. We are still warming up. There are more things coming ahead. Legitimate millionaires, wealth without compromise. Wealth without compromise. When I saw the theme of this, well, I call it a conference, Early Millionaires, big things only, I was excited. But I said in my mind, many of you will not stop at millionaires. You will jump into the billionaire realm. And if your faith can take it, someone here will touch the trillion realm. So we are only saying it's okay to touch the million realm as a student, but don't stop there. Legitimate millionaires, wealth without compromise. I'll be looking at building and sustaining wealth from a kingdom perspective. Building and sustaining wealth from a kingdom perspective. I recognize some of our lecturers and our other speaker here. Celebrate you all. And I saw some of my old schoolmates at Covenant University here today. It's good to see you guys. Building and sustaining wealth from a kingdom perspective. I'd like us to be reminded, because as Covenant University students, some of these things being shared over and over at different platforms, they become too common to us that they don't hold any form of weight anymore. I was sharing with the Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship last Saturday. And when I was sharing some of these things, I had to retrace my mindset that I'm not talking to Covenant University students. These things sounded alien to them. I felt I was speaking at some point over their heads. And then I began to appreciate the great things that Covenant University students are exposed to on this ground. Your mentality is enlarged. Your perspective to life expanded. It's not like that everywhere. You see God's side to his will and his plan for you. So I'm going to run through a few points just as reminders. Number one, it is God's will for you to prosper and enjoy abundant wealth. Abundant. In 3 John chapter 1 verse 2, 3 John has just one chapter. The scripture declares, beloved, I wish above all things. I wish above all things. So there are many things that God desires, but he's saying above all, I wish that you prosper. So the heartbeat of God is for you and I to enjoy abundance. There's no natural father who is blessed, has resources, has substance, that will not want the children to live in affluence. Many of us here in Covenant University, we are here today, thank God for God's grace, but most of our families are well-to-do families. And that is why it reflects in our ability to come to Covenant University. So the first point, please never forget that God's will is for you to prosper and enjoy abundant life. Number 2, and I like this, and this is the age and time that we are living in. God's agenda for the last days is to raise an army of financial giants. How many of them are here today? Come on, let me see your hand. Are there financial giants here? The dimension that God has packaged for these last days is so heavy, so thick, that God is looking for young men and women like you and me, because I'm still young, right? That he will use as instruments in his hand to bring the pride of the world to their knees. I was sharing yesterday, I said there are dimensions to this effect. There were days when God was speaking that he was going to be expanding the capacity of church organizations. And when this prophetic agenda began in the 80s, when this prophetic wave was everywhere in the 80s, many churches could not plug in. But a few churches like Winners Chapel plugged into this prophetic wave. As far back as the early 80s, you need to watch some of those early teachings of Bishop. Those days they had Afro. You need to see some of those videos. It's not like it is today. I didn't say anything. But he had Afro. You see him wear check shirt, check tie, everything check. It's not like today that you check what you are wearing. Does it blend with suit? Anything goes. And you see him hold, he had one small Bible just like my palm, and we hold this Bible and we're preaching that in our time we'll not just be wealthy, we'll be the wealthiest. In the 80s, and you see people from the crowd looking at him like, you can see how wealthy you look. But he was operating at some realms in the prophetic. Other churches, other ministers could not catch this picture. So then they counted themselves out of this prophetic wave. But for those who saw it, they are manifesting it today. We are now seeing churches like nations. Some weeks ago, we took a decision in my office at 4 p.m. concerning a bank, a commercial bank in Nigeria. The next morning at 8 a.m., the management of that bank was here. The EDs, about 3 of them, resumed here. You know what it means for you to take a decision as a church at 4 p.m. And because of the weight of the decision, the management of a commercial bank had to come. I had the MD of that bank walk to my office. I was talking to me, said, Pastor Steve, I've been told that you are someone that has some degree of influence within the system, and if you say some things, they will listen to you. Can you just intervene? I like you as a person. I laughed. In my mind, I said, stop patronizing me. You like me as a person. We are just meeting for the first time. He said, I've heard. I said, thank you for hearing. But a church is taking a decision, a commercial bank is shaking. But you know the realm where we are going to is when God will be turning us as individuals to nations. Where you'll be taking a decision in your business, in your life, and commercial banks will be shaking. Some of you can't see that dimension here. That's the way we are going. That's the prophetic wave. In Haggai chapter 2 from verse 6 to 7. Now hear what it says. It said he will shake the heavens, shake the earth, shake the seas. And the Lord of hosts, yet a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. Verse 7 quickly. Please put that scripture back. And I will shake all nations. So this effect will transcend nations. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. And how will he do this? How will he do this? He said, the silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord. And I like the next verse. He said, the glory of this later house, speaking about your generation and my generation, shall be greater than the former. Come on, are you hearing what the word is saying? That means God is simply saying, what I will use your life to do, the effect of our fathers will look like nothing. Compared to the results of our fathers, it will look like nothing. That's the realm God is taking us. And I know there are people like me here, that when we take decisions, nations will be shaken. Commercial banks will be shaken. At my own little level, I've taken some decisions that had to move the regional managers of some banks to travel and come. At my own small level. And the first day that thing happened, I was happy. I said, Steve, one part wanted to say you have arrived. I said, no, you have not arrived, you are getting there. I said, give me this money. The man came. The branch was not enough because they couldn't convince me. The regional came. He said, good day, sir. I'm the regional manager of I'm covering the south, something. I said, oh, yeah, okay, welcome. He said, our branch said they took a decision and we came to just talk to you. Buga. That's the realm God is taking somebody here. If you are like me, shout an amen like a believer. Number 3. God's provision for wealth answers to universal laws. There are laws. There are laws. These laws are unbreakable. There are laws. If you want to operate in that realm, there are laws. There are laws. Genesis 8:22. As the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest shall not cease. But quickly, let's move on. Let's look at foundation for wealth creation. I'll be sharing some real things of the things I did even as a student. When Dr. Steve was talking about selling popcorn, where I sat down, I said my own story was a little better. I sold buns and egg roll on this ground. One time, it was Shiloh time. It's not Shiloh that I climbed the pulpit now. Shiloh time before, I used to sell in the market. And I had buns, egg roll, coke, drink, and all that stuff. And I was at the selling stand. You are passing around, fresh egg roll, fresh buns. Today egg roll, today buns. And I didn't sell all of my egg roll that day. So because I didn't want the market to waste, I carried it over to the next day. And the following morning, I wanted the egg roll to be fresh. So I was looking for a microwave. So I went to one of our pastors and I met the wife. I said, Madam, please, can you borrow me your microwave? She said, yes. She gave me a microwave. So I wanted the egg roll to be fresh on time. So I increased the minutes. So I put everything, true story. The next time I started hearing poof, poof. I was wondering what's going on. Poof, poof, what's going on? By the time I looked at the microwave, all the egg rolls had hashed. And one of my friends, I feel like mentioning his name, but I won't, was also in the Pioneer set. He used to sing very well those days. He saw the egg roll, began to laugh. He said, Steve Oga's egg rolls have hashed. That day I felt I was in between shedding tears because I felt this whole market was gone. But you know the good thing, a few months later, he needed money and I still gave him money. 30,000. I will never forget that amount for my life. 30,000, I gave him. And when he needed the money and he called me, he said, there's a challenge. I don't know if you can bill me. I looked at him. I wanted to say my egg would have hashed, but I remember that forgiveness is key. So I said, okay, what do you need? And I gave him 30,000. This is far back, maybe 2006 or 5. I can imagine how much, if I want to collect it now, inflation. Glory to God. Come on, I said glory to God. Foundation for wealth creation. At the root of wealthy living is a wealthy mindset. Wealthy mindset. And this is very crucial. Don't mistake the fact that you are passing through Covenant University as a prerequisite for a wealthy mindset or a prosperous mindset. There are products of Covenant University, you hear them talk. Poverty has enveloped them. At the root of wealthy living, whether in the kingdom or outside in the secular space, is a wealthy mindset. So everything about us as believers begins with the quality of our mentality. This is so crucial. You know, when the Bible says in Proverbs 23 and verse 7 that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I also discovered that as sovereign as God is, as almighty as God is, as all powerful as God is, even the Almighty God cannot help a man or a woman beyond the way the person thinks. So if a young man carries a poverty mentality, give him 1 billion, he will end up poor. In Philemon chapter 1 and verse 14, the Bible says, without your mind, I will do nothing. Without your mind, without the right mentality, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. So our mentality is what defines our reality. Now hear this. At your level, just keep developing a mentality of wealth. I remember as a student, I'll be thinking that a time will come. I desired to be able to send children to school that I don't know. I desire to be able to send people on a monthly basis to orphanages. I desire to be able to build churches. I was a student on this ground. But all of those things are past a long time. Now we are increasing the number of children, orphans, on scholarship every other time. But from the days of a student, I was seeing those pictures. Interestingly, there's a program I'm privileged to host on Covenant University, Tehillah Night. How many of you have been in Tehillah Night before? Now, the first edition was Dulcie. The second edition was Sinach. The third edition was Nathaniel Bassi. Now, the fourth edition, don't be too sure, I will tell you. To bring all of these people is not fasting and prayer. They are global, world-class artists. You fly some of them in, fly the entire team in. But I remember that vision came on my bunk in Daniel Hall. I laid down watching Dom One ministering at Liberty University. And I sat and I looked at it. I said, I would like to do something like this for Covenant University. Fast forward years after. It's a reality. But from those days on campus, you can't make me think poor. You can't make me think poor. There were days I would go to my dad, my late dad. He was a banker those days, and I'll tell him, sir, I know they used to supply different things in your office. Can I supply printing paper? He will look at me, how can the son of the manager be supplied? Don't embarrass me. I said, I can do it. I remember my days in secondary school in Kaduna. I would come back from school, pull my uniform, wear coat, not suit. You know, there's a difference between coat and suit. You wear suit, coat wears you. Just imagine how I was as a secondary school, and I wear this heavy size coat, carry papers like this and folders, walk out of my house, go to the main road, take bus, and I'll be going to oil companies. I remember I went to Unipetrol one time, and I walked in there and I saw the guy. I said I came for a contract. He first looked at me like, and I said, I came for. So he looked at me and laughed. He became my friend. He was a receptionist. And he laughed, said, small boy, go home. But this coat you are wearing with tie. But you can't make me think poor. It was not yet in the hand, but it was in my mind. What am I saying this afternoon? Consciously develop a wealthy mentality. It may not be in your hand, but it's a matter of time. You begin to attract it to yourself. You know what mentality does? It creates a force field, a spiritual, supernatural force field that begins to draw your perception to yourself. So if you think poor, poverty is magneted to you. You think wealthy, wealth is magneted to you. Now, what is a wealthy mentality? Someone may ask. It is possessing the right perspective towards money or wealth. A right perspective. Oh, yes, God will bless you. I know that for sure. But why will God bless you? Is it for show? Is it to impress and terrorize people? You know, when Steve was talking about how fake social media is today, I remember I pastored two of our churches in the U.S., Maryland and Dallas, in the U.S., for about 4 years plus cumulatively. And one time, someone came to me in church and brought a phone and was showing me a picture of someone on Facebook, a member of the church. I said, Pastor, see. I said, what is this? And it was the picture of a brother. He had gone to pose by one of my cars. Interestingly, I bought that car not too long, very sweet vehicle. And he posed by the owner's corner, as if he was trying to open the door. And then somebody snapped him and he smiled. Different shots. And they snapped him and he posted it on Facebook. Now, I know this brother because he just came into the US barely 2 months. He didn't have a house to stay. He came with visitor's visa, but he had relocated. I pastored there so I understand that. So he was jumping from house to house, trek, train. That was his life. But he went there and posted a picture on Facebook. Now you needed to see the comments. Woo! Oh boy, God don't bless you. You don't hammer sharp. See his response. We thank God. Oh. So when I saw it, I was laughing. I said, see, now somebody back home now will almost die. 2 months, Sika. If I go to America, I go. Is somebody here? The fakeness. Please don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. The question we must answer, why will God bless you? So if we're talking about wealthy mentality, we are simply saying possessing the right perspective towards money and wealth. Not for show. Not for show. There are certain people, the day they mistakenly enter private jet, higher. You will see where that day. You need for them to climb the plane and snap on top. And they are showing the whole world. What is wealthy mentality? It's about developing a thought life of abundance. 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 Not feeding from hand to mouth. Never see yourself in that category. You don't belong there. Thank God for wherever your parents are. You are designed to do them. Oftentimes, within this commission, most people are shy and scared to say that they will do beyond our Father. Oh, I'm not scared to say it. In fact, I've seen beyond it. Right? He's blessed with aircrafts. I may not have one now, but I've seen beyond it. In fact, you need to see me when I'm pricing aircrafts. I do that whenever I travel. Even I'm rehearsing for my future. So I travel, I go, I rent a flashy car. $100, $200. I cruise to the place. By the time I get there, I tell them I'm here to inspect some aircrafts. I dress sharp. You know, you are dressed the way you are dressed. By the time they see you dressed with some nice suit, not coats like before, nice suit. I say, please come. And you're walking, okay. And I've studied all the kind of aircraft. I oversee the aviation ministry of the church today, so I know quite a lot on aviation. What is this? Challenger 605. Okay, it's okay. What kind of configuration do you have? Oh, what about that one? It's a G550. Yes, I like G550s. You know, the cabins are bigger. Can I just see them? How much is this? Oh, $30 million. Okay, it's all right. Don't be intimidated by the amount. It doesn't matter. You may not have it now. You are getting there. Getting there. You know, that's what they call rehearsal. You know choir? How many choir members do we have here? What about reflections? What of CUTG? You do rehearsals, right? You rehearse before the D-Day. So I rehearse. I put my hand in my pocket. No amount can scare me. Call it 100 million, doesn't matter. The way I look, okay. You think I have $1 billion in my account? Is that right? After I finish, I say, okay, can I have your card? And then they give me. And I say, thank you. So I'll get back to you. Let me think. As I'm going, I say, Lord, just help me as I go. Somebody will get there. Come on, I said you will get there. So possess a thought life of abundance. Don't think poor. Don't think poor. Don't think poor. Now, simply put, the difference between the rich and the poor is mindset. That's the foundation. Mindset. Wealth is a lifestyle sponsored by certain mindsets. Wealth is a lifestyle sponsored by certain mindsets. And so is poverty. Poverty is also a lifestyle that is sponsored by certain poor mindset. The truth is this: when you find a poor man, there's a way they think. There's a perspective a poor man has about money. When someone asked a question about shares, I remembered when we came in 2002, we had one amazing professor. I will never forget this professor. I've been looking for him sincerely. I'm searching for him. I feel like doing something. I've been looking for him. Professor Zedome. This man was foundational in teaching us entrepreneurial developmental studies, EDS. The man told us all kinds of stories. The ones that were real, the ones that were unimaginable, the ones you will sit there and you'll be confused, that can this happen? But he was charging our minds. And then they began to expose us to buying shares from year one. And a few of us began to buy shares, little by little. They send us pocket money. We split it into 3 or 4 parts. You will never find me near Bashan. With all due respect to Bashan, I won't go. Unless somebody is buying for me. I go to the likes of Olive. There's Olive, right? Right? Don't be shy. I know you eat in Olive too, but and those days you will buy small with this tiny meat, like your finger. I don't know how they sell now. Is it like that? But then you see some of your mates, they'll carry their girlfriends. Come on, Bashan. You order. Bashan then, the chicken size was heavy. Spiced well. So we'll be looking at them from the corner of our eyes. But we're using our money to buy shares. And little by little, when it was time for dividends, they bring. Gradually. And I remember before we left school, a number of us checked our share value were already in millions by gradually buying little by little. Every pocket money that comes is separated little by little. I looked at one of my portfolios recently, and interestingly, some of my portfolios are managed by Covenant University students or graduates. One of my major portfolios is managed by one of our product. We were in school together. And she sent me a message in the course of the week and said, Pastor Steve, so amount of your money is mature today. What do we do with it? When I looked at the mail, I smiled. I didn't respond though. But I looked at it, it just gladdened my heart. You will look at your resource in the coming years, you will just start laughing. But we began gradually, thinking in the realms of abundance, not thinking like poor people. Now, I give us 5 points and I'm out of here very quickly. Number 1, perspective to wealth creation. Number 1, start early. So the best time to start is now. Start buying shares. You want to buy NFTs, whatever. Start buying. Start now. Number 2, create a personal financial game plan. A personal financial game plan. Create it. And this plan must be strategic and it must be progressive. Create a personal financial game plan. Interestingly, God will never plan for you. So you have the responsibility to make a personal financial game plan. You tell yourself, what financial level do I want to graduate with? What do I want to have in my investment account at my point of graduation? And when you set such a target, you begin to walk towards it. Number 3, be a committed learner. Be a committed learner. Interestingly, knowledge is the new world currency. The new world currency is knowledge. There's nothing you can't learn today. Thank God for social media. Thank God for YouTube. You can learn everything. Be a committed learner. Number 4, start from where you are. You know, oftentimes when you hear the testimonies of a few people that have gone ahead of you talking about, Dr. Steve talking about billions and all of that, it could be intimidating to some of you. But start from where you are. Start. Because if you don't start, you will never arrive. Start. From the place where thou art, he said, look, it is what you see that God brings. Genesis 13, 14 and 15. From your place, start. You may start by buying shares in 50,000, 100,000. It may look like nothing, but continue. 50,000 plus 50,000 plus 50,000 plus 50,000. Before you know, you have hit 1 million. Start from where you are. Though your beginning may be small, it says your later end shall greatly increase. Finally, number 5, be grateful for every phase you find yourself. Be grateful. Be grateful. And this is where many young people miss it. When God begins to give us results, we begin to feel, oh, I'm smart. Smarter than my peers. I'm good. Oh, forgetting that it's of the Lord's mercies. The Lord's mercies. I close with this scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. I saw this scripture as a Covenant University student many years ago. It said, what for who maketh you to differ from another? So what makes you think you're any better than the person sitting beside you? Or what have you that you have not received? So if you received everything, why boast? Or why do you glory as if you did not receive it? My concluding word today is that for everyone who came out here, you have simply indicated to God that, Lord, the minimum level I want to operate will be in the million realm. And heaven has seen your heart. and heaven has put a stamp on it. There are many of you, you will still be looking as young and fresh like this. You'll be counting millions in hundreds. A time will come, some of you will be writing them in billions without any feeling. And when you get there, many of us will be there with you. Jump on your feet and shout a loud amen. Tap that neighbor, tell that neighbor, see you at the top. Come on, tell the other neighbor, see you at the top. Give Jesus a big hand and thank you for having me this afternoon. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Pastor Steve Olga. You may please have your seats. Let's have our seats. Let's have our seats. Thank you very, very much. Please, in one accord, can we just say, thank you so much, Pastor Steve. We love you, sir. And we appreciate you, sir. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you very much. Pastor Steve gave a decree which was interesting. He said that we would not stop at millions, right? Which is a good thing, right? Right? Exactly. The path of the justice has a shining light that shines what? Brighter and brighter. But he gave me an idea, and I hope the Dean of CMSS will agree with me. Maybe for future editions, since this was the Early Millionaires, next year we'll do Early Billionaires. Next year, the year after that, we'll do what? Early Trillionaires. And the final year, we'll do what? Early Zillionaires. Is that a good thing? But you're not allowed to attend more than one. And the one you have attended now, that is all. So you guys here are millionaires. We'll wait for the futures to attend the Billionaire and the Trillionaires conference. Does that make sense? All right, please put your hands together for yourselves. So we'll be going into a very, very quick question session, continue from our last session. So Jenny Ola will handle it from there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So you know the way Pastor Stephen Olga said something like he was selling egg roll, he was selling something, and then Dr. Stephen also said he was also selling popcorn. So does anybody want to share their I can never be broke moments in their life? Like something that happened and they just thought, I should not be broke. Like, I can't just be broke. So is there anybody like that wants to share that moment with us? We all have moments like that, unless you will not be here. So please just tell us one thing. Okay, what motivated you to come here? Okay, who is that? Please put your hands together for her.
My I can never be broke moment started I'm in 500 level, by the way, and it started in alpha semester when nearly all my classmates resumed with MacBooks. I can't be broke.
Thank you. Please put your hands together for her. Okay, so we are going to be going to a giveaway session now, and it's just the fastest person I give the mic to that talks. Okay, so the first question is something that Dr. Stephen said that was captivating. A quote that Dr. Stephen said that was captivating. Who? Okay. Sorry, son, Roseanne. Make sure is correct word for word. Okay. Please put your hands together for her.
It was his particular quote that he said it is his own personal quote.
Poor people buy what they do not need to impress those that don't care about them.
No, I don't think that's it. Okay, let me go to a guy.
The quote says, if you hate selling, you have written a formal letter to poverty.
Please put your hands together for him. Okay, so after now, just go to the president of CUFS for your giveaway. Give me your question.
All right, so it's not a question per se. Courtesy of CUFS, they would like to award a very special person here. Now, ALDC can actually only seat about 600 people, and this program was open to 600 people. But then we had over 2,000 people register for this Early Millionaires conference. It's a good thing, right? Please put your hands together for yourself. It's a good thing. So CFS would like to award the very first person that filled the form. The very, very first person. And her name, I don't know if she's here present. Her name is Fisayo Akonji, 100 level.
Please, are you here? Please, can you stand up for recognition?
Out of 2,000 people, you were the first person.
Fisayo Akonji.
Wow, she's not here. Oh, exams! Wow. A student by day, millionaire by night. All right, should get her award later on. Thank you very much. I would continue with the questions later, but right now we would want to invite our third speaker for the day. Now, from this particular speaker, I learned something very, very important, which has changed my life, right? I call her the Make, Manage, and Multiply Coach. You see, not everyone can make wealth, but not everyone can manage wealth. Everyone can manage wealth, but not everyone can multiply wealth. That makes sense, right? But you see, it's not my duty to expatiate on that knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Mrs. Shola Adeshaki. Please focus your eyes to the screen for her citation. Thank you very much.
Shola Adeshaki is a visionary leader dedicated to guiding individuals, communities, and countries towards wealth and abundance. Through her make, manage, and multiply money messages, she empowers people of all professional levels and ages through published books, communities, courses, conferences, and financial literacy tools. Her approach combines an awareness of God's abundance, leveraging unique talents, and achieving financial success. Shola Adeshaki, an experienced chartered accountant, serves as a personal finance coach, author, and sought-after speaker. Through the Smart Stewards blog and the Smart Stewards Academy, she has helped numerous individuals overcome stress and debt while influencing women through her teachings in global media appearances. Her expertise in designing effective financial systems for SMEs has been tested and proven by corporate clients. With a strong educational background, including a BSc in Applied Accounting, fellowships with professional accounting bodies, an MBA, and a certificate in entrepreneurial management, Shola Adeshaki continues to inspire individuals on their path to financial well-being and purposeful lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's rise up on our feet and a round of applause for Mrs. Shola Adeshaki. Please put your hands together for her.
Put your hands together for her. Thank you so much, ma, for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my, I didn't realize that there was like an overflow behind me. How are we all doing? Please be seated. Thank you so much for the organizers for inviting me here. It's a rainy day, you know, here in Ota, and of course in Lagos where I came in from this morning. I want to thank you, the president of the club. I want to thank you, Ma, for bringing me again. I think this is my second time here. And just like Pastor Steve Olga said about Mr. What's his name now? The first speaker. Yes, about him spying into his notes. I think Pastor Steve also spied into my notes. But it just means one thing, that the knowledge that we hear today has the potential and the capacity of revolutionizing our finances. Let me tell you, first of all, I am jealous of all of you. You know why? When I was in school, I finished school 23 years ago. There was never a time where a financial conference like this was held. So even though I read accounting in school, I became a, yes. If you want to clap, clap. Yes. Thank you. I came out of school as an accountant, and by a year after, I became a chartered accountant with ICANN in 2021 or so, which makes me a fellow of ICANN. I'm also a fellow of ACCA. I have CPA in Canada as well. But why am I saying all of these things? When we were in school, nobody taught us about building wealth. They only taught us how to become an accountant and, leave school, go and practice accounting or whatever, and just figure things out. So even as a chartered accountant, I was always broke. I was always confused. And the first thing I want to tell you this day is that what you are learning in school, yes, would have an impact on how far you're able to go in life, but it would not determine how much of wealth you will build. But you see the things that you have been hearing since morning about wealth. And I'm glad that, some of these things are being incorporated into our curriculum. Those are the things. So it's a different thing to learn accounting in school. But it's another thing to learn financial literacy. So I came out of school, I started to work, got a few gigs here and there, and then I hit a very good job that was paying me about $500,000 about 18, 20 years ago. Now, when I say $500,000, I mean 500,000. Now, in those days, 500,000 was a lot of money. Do you agree with me? Even now, 500,000 is a lot of money. If I give you 50,000 naira now, what would your reaction be? Anybody? Who needs 5,000? Urgent 5,000. Who needs urgent 50,000? So, who needs, this one cannot be urgent, 500,000. So, imagine the value of 500,000 naira then. But I was always broke, my sisters and brothers in the Lord. 1 week after salary, I was broke. And I'm glad that I'm in a Christian faith environment. So each time I went to church and our pastor would say, whoever needed prayer should come out, guess what? I'll be out. Because I thought village people were after my life. Because how could I be earning 500,000 per month and 1 week after I was broke? I couldn't understand where my money was going. And I took a lot of really terrible money decisions. And I will say that even though I was a chartered accountant, my finances were scattered and all over the place. But you know what I was lacking? What we are talking about today. Financial literacy. And that's why I said, see, go to school all you like, read accounting all you like, read banking and finance all you like. That's a good step. But to build wealth on an individual level, you need to understand the dynamics of financial literacy. And remember I said I am really jealous of you because nobody was teaching us these things now. You have the potential of taking all of these things, running with them, and you know what? This, our own generation, we haven't seen anything. You see people in their 20s, early 20s, making money. The lady that came with me today, we were on our podcast together, and she was telling me how she sold her first real estate deal at 23. Do you see? These things work. Personal financial principles work. So I just thought to lay that foundation that you may be in Covenant University, you may not even have 5,000 naira in your account. You may be doing urgent 2K. But the potentials that you have, don't trade it for anything. I wish I could just swap places with somebody today. Just come and go back to my house. Go and meet my 3 sons. Let me stay here and do school. You are so blessed and privileged. And I hope somebody has taken something from there. Now, my topic is setting a personal financial structure to aid your financial journey. All you need is to have a vision of the future that you want. And I really like a quote that says, nothing guarantees a good future like a correct picture. And you cannot feature in a future you cannot picture. Can I say that again? Nothing guarantees a good future like a correct picture. And you cannot feature in a future you cannot picture. Taking reflecting on what Pastor Steve said earlier on, your ability to build wealth is based on your ability to see far. I was talking with a cousin of mine a few weeks ago, and I remember when we were so little, maybe around 10 or 11, I was living with them at that time. And we will come out, they lived at Igbobi College, very big place, and we'll come out and then we'll just be fantasizing. I would say, okay, so today we're going to the UK, then tomorrow we'll go to London, to the US, we'll go to this and that, and these are the things we'll buy for people when we are coming back. Those things were seeds. You know why? Because we watched a lot of TV, and we saw, so underground. Anyway, by the time I traveled to the UK for the first time, it felt familiar. You know why? Because I traveled to the UK in my heart, in my mind, many times. Just by the virtue of the things I was watching on TV. Just by the virtue of things I was reading in books and by conversations. So the first thing when we talk about becoming early millionaires is you need to have a future or the future, a picture of the future that you want. So, in 2 weeks' time, I'll be in the UK for a conference that my company organized. A few days after, I'll be in the US for a conference that I was invited to come and speak at. Those were things I saw when I was 10, when I was 11. Now, if you bring it home to our faith, to the Bible says now unto him who is able to do what? Exceeding, number one. Abundantly, number two. Above all that we what? First of all, ask. Number two, think. Are you with me? So you have to be able to think and conceive these things irrespective of where you are. So let me go into my slides. I know I have spent so much time laying the foundation. Please go along with my slides. I'm going to skip a few things. And I want to show you an image, what I call the human life cycle, to drive home a point. And to make you realize that life is in phases. Life is in seasons. I finished school at 20. How many people are 20 here? Maybe nobody? Yeah. I finished school at 23 years ago. So you can add up my age. And when I finished school, it looked like, I had the entire world ahead of me. But guys, time flies. The days seem so slow, but the years fly by so soon. I can remember vividly when I was in school. All of those prayers, all of those courses. I'm like 23 years just like that. Look at this image on the screen. And, you know, the author was trying to tell us, or is trying to tell us that the human life cycle is divided into 3 phases. And that should help you with the decisions you take about your present and about your future. Phase 1, which is where 98% of us are in, is the education stage. You are in school. Your parents are funding your education. You can call home for urgent 2K. You can call daddy and mommy to say, my provision is finished, I need more money. And they'll do what? They will sharply transfer to you. It will not be like that forever. At this stage, your aunts, your uncles, everybody, you can just face something and say, you know what, I'm not even happy in school. Why are you not happy? I'm actually very broke. And somebody will send you money. Is it me with 3 sons that I will now be calling one auntie? In fact, everybody is even looking up to you because they see your face on post, think that you have arrived, but we have arrived in Jesus' name. So everybody is asking, Ma, I'm broke. I got an email yesterday. I want to go and do robotics, whatever. I need 8 million. I'm like, the way people are looking at me, may God make it so for me. Oh. Phase 1, education. Don't joke with it. It's a very, very important and pivotal stage of your life. Whatever you do now will help you. And when we bring it home to world building, you know what? You have the time now. You have your colleagues. How many of you know Piggy Vest? Didn't they finish from Covenant University? Am I right? Do you know the amount of money those guys have as assets under management? I've worked with them a couple of times. It is mind-blowing. And how did it start? It started from school. So, age is on your side. Age is your asset, number 1. Your network and the people around you are your assets. Number 3, then you are in such a powerful environment like this, where you are listening to the best of the best. People who have results. We don't attend Winners Chapel, but my husband plays Bishop Oyedepo's messages overnight in our house to show you the potency. And you are right here on the ground. That's another asset. Should I go on? You have the time, you have people you can, rather than just asking for urgent 2K, you can use this time to raise money to build whatever it is you want to be. You want to build an app, you want to build a business. How many of you do business currently? I'm not saying do business in school, or I don't know what the policies are. But you have ideas, you have a business plan already. Phase 1. Now, phase 2, that's when you leave school. Let me tell you, from the very day you finish school, the dynamics change. That's when mommy and daddy will start to say, hey, we have invested in you. Now is the time for you to what? Reciprocate. Actually, they would say that your first salary has to be given to your parents. How many of you have heard that thing? Get ready. And by the time you give your first salary to your parents, what does that mean? Subsequent salaries, you must start to drop. That's what it means. So you see the sudden switch from daddy, give me urgent 2K. It is daddy that will not be saying, Omo, give me urgent 5K. So in your phase 2, you start to work. All of a sudden, one guy is toasting you, or you are toasting one girl. Then you decide that you are madly in love. Then you decide that you want to get married. Then you get married. And like me, all of a sudden, I have 3 boys chasing me to say, Mommy. Sometimes I look at my son like, how did all of this happen, Seth? Mommy, Cocoa Pops. Mommy, Golden Moon. I'm like, me? It just happened suddenly, my dearest. Phase 2. And guys, this will blow your mind. All of a sudden, your children are going to school. As I leave this place today, I'm stopping at Ambassadors. My son, my first son, is in SS2. He's going to go to uni next year. This me, Kokolomio. How? You now say I should be calling my mommy and daddy for urgent 2K. That dispensation has ended many years ago. All of a sudden now, my son that is 16 will now bring a girl home in 8 years' time to say, I want to marry. Then I will now become a grandmother. Say life. Say life. There is no time. You have to do whatever you want to do now. That's phase 2. Then phase 3, retirement. How many of you have parents who are retired? That's the whole essence of life. I thought to spend time on that slide to make you realize that, see, all the other stages of your life are fantastic, but this is your best stage. This is your best stage. To learn about money, to follow your passion, to discover your passion. This will make you laugh, but it's just off the record on a lighter note. They will say that if you don't get a boyfriend or a fiance in school, your journey is long. It's a lighter note. To me, I didn't meet my husband in school. I met my husband in my early 30s. Do you see? Yes, just before I was 30 or so. So, understand this, and and decide and make up your mind that you're going to what? Be passionate and resolute about building wealth. Let's go on. Now we're going to run. I'm not going to touch on all my slides. Are we okay? Can I continue? Are we still friends? Or is the buzz becoming too much? Next slide, next slide, next slide. Don't worry, just keep moving. I'll tell you to either stay or skip. This is another life cycle. There's early career, there's mid-career, there's peak accumulation, there's retirement. All of those stages, there's something about your ability to build wealth on all of those stages. Move on, quickly, quickly, quickly. Move on. I've done my intros. I want to teach very briefly for my remaining minutes the B no-do principle for creating wealth and for becoming an early millionaire. And I'm going to jump to the B, becoming. When we say you want to become a millionaire, what does it imply? Become. Becoming wealthy has to start from being. And that's why I like what Pastor Steve Auger said about the power of the mindset. There are people who touch money and money leaves them because they don't, it's just an accidental, how do they put it? You just stumble into, if you stumble into money, you will stumble out of it. But you must become wealthy first of all, in your mind. Some of you here, you don't have 5,000 in your account or in your portfolio, but you have such a wealthy mindset that you believe that in this world, you will be wealthy. And when we talk about the art of being, what does it mean? Your beliefs and attitudes about money. You can't see money as an enemy and expect to be wealthy. And I tell people, if you have money struggles, money is inanimate. You are animate. Something that is not a living being cannot be smarter than something that is a living being, isn't it? Can money breathe? No. Because you hear people, just like me, I don't know where my money is going. Does money have life? No. It is because I have not learned how to manage it. Francis Bacon says, money is a great servant, but a bad leader. Have you seen that quote before? They call money what? Currency. Derived from the word current. And what is current? How many of you have been to the bar beach before? Do you see how the water moves? That's current. It goes from one place to another. If you do not learn how to tame your money will be everywhere. And that's why you collect money from POS or ATM on a Friday evening, 50,000. By Monday, you'll be like, it's only 2,000 left. Where did this money go? Does money have legs? No. Money takes on the nature of the person who has it. So, one of the beliefs that I had back then was, money doesn't like me. Money is not my friend. Money is too difficult to manage. No. Some of us have other limiting belief systems running a script in our mind. Oh, my parents are poor. Actually, my parents are late. Actually, my parents are not the ones sending me to school. Actually, my parents had it rough. And you know why? Social media glamorizes the wrong things these days. It's sad. Back then, there was nothing in school. If anybody came to drop you, if your dad had a car and a driver, you are very rich. But these days, you go on social media, you see private jet, you see all of those things. Don't be inundated by those things. And don't allow them influence what you think about money. Are we still together? You need to have an abundance mentality. You need to overcome the limiting beliefs. Let's move on. So that's being. You need to go and read books. You need to go and research. You need to sit down to say, what beliefs do I have about money? Do I see money as an enemy? Do I see money as a stranger? In Nigeria, a lot of people believe that if you are not dishonest, you can't make money. How many of you think so sometimes? Some people believe that money is only for the politicians. Some people believe that you have to lie to be rich. No, those are limiting beliefs. Some people believe that even if you relocate, I have a cousin who relocated to Canada many years ago. And he keeps telling me, Shola, I cannot be a millionaire here. I just want to make ends meet, send my children to school. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? A lot of people travel overseas from Nigeria and they just want to run away from the system. And I tell people, it is better to be running towards something than to be running away from something. Do you agree with me? You are running away from whatever is happening in Nigeria, then you go overseas, you settle for anything. But if you are running towards, I will be wealthy, whether UK, whether America, it is not all of us that will jackpot. There are people who have jackpot and who have jackpot. We are still here, we will prosper. But if it is in your destiny, not to jackpot, but to relocate, because when we talk about relocation, I look at it, there are a lot of people in the Bible who actually relocated. Do you know? Abraham relocated. Joseph relocated. Moses relocated. So it is not about relocating. It is about why are you relocating? Why are you schooling? Why do you want to school in the UK or in the US? Don't just run away from something. Run towards something. Don't be like those who will jackpot and those who will now then what? Jackpot. May that not be our portion. Next one, know. How do you know? If you want to build wealth, you can't just say, they say if you want to build wealth, we should have a very good mindset. Yes. It is not enough to have a great mindset and a believing mindset. You have to add knowledge to it. The Bible says faith comes by what? Hearing. And hearing what? The word of God. Wealth comes by what? Hearing. It is what you hear that will fuel the mindset that you already have. You must read books. How many of you have read at least one financial book this year? Some people are doing like this. How many of you have read at least two? Okay, there are some popular books about wealth that if you have not read, you're not ready. How many of you have read The Richest Man in Babylon? Wow, raise your hand, let me see. How many of you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad? How many of you have read The Richest Man? I've mentioned that, right? How many of you have read As a Man Thinketh in his mind? Okay. How many of you have read The Smart Money Woman? Yeah, Arese is my friend, so yes. Now, how many of you have read my book, The 40 Frugal Rules for Your Journey to Financial Freedom? How many of you have read it? If you have not read it, as you are finishing this session, go and buy your copy. 40 simple things that would help you with your finances. It is important. There are other books that you can read. There's The Money Game by Tony Robbins. There is The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. You must read. You must know. Next slide, please. Next slide. Let's go to doing. Now, as part of knowing, yes, embrace financial literacy. The person that introduced me talked about the 3 M's of money, which is what I teach. Go back to the 3 M's of money. Make money. And I need you to read that book, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Generate income. Because if you're not making money, you cannot build wealth. Then you move on to how to manage money. Because it is one thing to make money. It is another thing to be able to manage money. It is not what you make that makes you rich. It is how you manage what you make. Then we talk about multiplying money. We talk about investing. Do you understand? Investing in different asset classes. Now, let's talk about the final part of this conversation, and I'll give you some tips. The doing. So, don't forget, you become wealthy in your mind. Are we still together? You start to know by reading books and embracing financial literacy. Then you start to do. In Nigeria, we want to start from doing. That's why people invest in the wrong things. You see somebody say, if you do this thing, you'll get 300% in 1 month. How many of us have heard about those things? Then they will say, there's cryptocurrency. My friend made $5,000. The person has not become, has not known, the person just wants to do. My very first investment, even as a chartered accountant, was in a scam investment. They said, in 6 weeks, if you put down 300,000, you will get 900,000. Really? It was my friend that introduced, I just collected my own. Okay, so I called my sister in the UK. Sis, we are going to blow. Many years ago. Then we pulled together about 1.2 million. This was 2006, my brethren. And we invested the money. 2 weeks to the time that we were supposed to arch and harvest our great seed was when the company collapsed. About 2 years ago, I was looking through my records and I saw the teller, me, a whole chartered accountant. I went to pay money to the bank, took the teller to an office somewhere in Ojodu, did not ask what they were using the money for. That's one of the downsides of doing without knowing. Tell your friend, become. Know. Then start to do. How do you do? Building wealth. Set financial goals based on the things that you have learned by acquiring knowledge. Do financial planning. Invest. Be mindful and disciplined. Some of us, we are still in school. You cannot account for the 10,000 naira or the 20,000 naira they give you maybe regularly. My sisters, if you cannot manage small money, you can't manage big money. It's not a curse. I can tell you for that for free. Be disciplined. It's not everything you want to eat. It's not everything everybody is buying you want to buy. You must learn to take risks. So let me share 7 points under doing, and then I'll tidy all of this up. Now, point number 1, as part of doing, go on. You must learn to budget. Tell your neighbor, budget. Some people will say, does a $10 budget? Does Aliko Dangote budget? Does Jeff Bezos budget? Sit down there. They budget. They have a team of accountants. I've worked with celebrities whose accountants are my own friend. We will work together. We will manage their finances. We will help them invest. Budget. Why do you think Jeff Bezos? Shall we know who? I know, Elon Musk. Do you know who Elon Musk is? Why do you think Elon Musk has moved from electric cars to space, now to Twitter? He's budgeting like, hey, this money is never enough. Oh. Do you know? Because if money is enough, these rich people, they should not be wanting to do more. Do you get it? There are a lot of forces contending against your finances. If it is not inflation, it is devaluation. Do you know all of those things? At least you must have done them in school. $1,000 at 360,000 naira 3 years ago is not the same today. You need 750,000 to buy $1,000. That's an anti-wealth factor. You must learn to budget. I budget. Let me make you laugh. I sent my house help because I buy in bulk, to save money, to the market yesterday. And I've always trusted her. Then she came back. She was showing me the things that she bought. Then she bought 1 tuber of yam like this. She said she bought it at 2,000 naira. I said, wait. The last one I bought myself online, we were in traffic, online shopping. I bought 4 longer tubers at 3,000. How could you have bought 1 tuber at, auntie is beginning to, I say, hey, this is what you want to do. But I budget, I know what is happening. Don't say I have a lot of money, I don't need to plan. That's tip 1. You must learn to save. And there are a lot of apps that can help you budget. I use Monify, Monefy. There are a lot of other ones. Point 2, quickly. I'll run through the 7. Set financial goals. What are the things you want to do as short-term goals? Things you want to do within the next 1 year. Those are short-term goals. Mid-term goals, the things you want to do between 2 to 5 years. Long-term goals, the things you want to do 7 years and above. Set goals. Don't just say, make your goals smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. What's the meaning of that? You will first of all, that's what I teach. I'm not saying SMART principle is not applicable. But first of all, say, some people want to build a house. They are earning 50,000 per month, but they want to build a house by December. You will go and steal. You must be specific, I agree, but you must be able to pace yourself to say, if I want to build a house, I give myself 2 to 3 years. For those who are in school, what are some of your plans? How many people are in 400 level or in their final year? What are your plans for immediately after school? The kind of income you want to make, where you want to work, when you want to buy your car, the kind of car you want to buy, the things you want to start saving for. Set financial goals. Start to set your marriage goals now. You want to have a fairy tale wedding, it's doable. Conceive it and you will achieve it. Next slide, 3, save money. This one, I feel like kneeling down. Can I kneel down? Here I should kneel down. Save money. A Japanese proverb says that if you save money, money will save you. And look at that, whatever you have on the screen. Oh, you don't have phones. You have a tab. I want you to screen grab it or draw it on your paper. You earn money, you save part of it, you spend part of it, and what you have saved, you invest. You give it time and patience. Rinse and repeat. That is how to build wealth. Some of you will say, I don't have money as a student, so I can't save. Let me finish school, I will save. From the money they currently give you, save out of it. I tell people saving money is about building consistency. Investing is about building tenacity. Saving money is putting money aside. Investing is putting money to work. Tip number 4, quickly. Number 4, this does not apply to us. Is there anybody here that is in debt? They say, God forbid. In Jesus' name, move on. Nobody here is in debt. Don't go and be taking loans. So in this day and age of quick loan, sharp loan. How many of you have received messages on your phone and they will say, your friend borrowed money? How many of you have received those? Oh, you guys don't know yet. Number 6, emergency funds. Yeah, right now this may not be applicable to you, but when you're out of school, you need to save money for the rainy days. Today is a rainy day. Anything can happen. Your car can stop working. Your plumbing something at home can just fall down. You need to save money for emergencies. You need to do insurance as well. In Nigeria, we think insurance, they're just taking our money. Overseas, they buy a phone, they insure it. Some people even insure their designer bags. They insure everything. Number 7, last tip, track your finances. Remember, we are talking about doing. Don't just say, yes, I'm saving, I'm investing, I'm doing this and that. You must track. I don't know why I omitted investment. Investing is one of the most assured or one of the surest paths to building wealth. And I think Dr. Stephen earlier on talked about investing, right? What are the things to invest in at your age? There are asset classes. You can do stocks. These days, you can buy fractional stocks. Buy a bit of Amazon. $20 worth of Amazon. $10 worth of this and that. So you can invest fractionally. You can do mutual funds. You can do real estate at very granular levels. You know. Let me see what's next on my slide. I think that's it. As I wrap up this conversation, I want to tell you that your personal financial success and becoming an early millionaire is your responsibility. Nobody is going to help you, not the government, not your parents. Yeah, they might help you, they might support you here and there, but the onus is on you to say, in this one world, you know we're not coming back. In this one world, I will succeed with my finances. Remember that you operate under 3 economies, your personal economy, the national economy of the country you belong, and the global economy. Invest in knowledge. Read about what is happening around the world. Read about cryptocurrency. I'm not saying go and do crypto. I'm just saying read extensively. And in these days of AI, ChatGPT and all of those things, read of mine. I've been able to convince you that you can become an early millionaire, and not just a millionaire, but a billionaire and a trillionaire. Maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years, we'll have another. Is there a zillionaire? Is there anything like a zillionaire? All right. If you have the time later, you can check out what we do as Smart Stewards on social media. You can go to our website, smartstewards.com. We have a package for those who are still in school. We have a 1-year community support, courses, videos, accountability pairing, and all of that for just 20,000 naira for a year. That's shawarma money for every month. So you can learn about finances, and we have a very vibrant community of youth, people who are between 16 and 22, sharpening one another about career, about business, about finances. So check us out, smartstewards.com, social media pages, Smart Stewards, and of course you can check me out to Shola Adeshaki across the different social media platforms. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that insightful session. We appreciate it. Okay, so we are going to be doing something now, and everybody has to be involved. We are not leaving yet. We still have a lot of packages for you. So right now, I need you all to please stand up. Kindly stand up. Kindly stand up. Stand up like a millionaire. Okay, so you're going to be walking around and greeting 5 millionaires that you know and tell them we are getting there soon. So go around, just greet 5 people and tell the millionaire that we are getting there soon. If they don't greet you, sorry. If they don't greet you, you greet them. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can now have your seats. We are getting there soon. Guinea, we are getting there soon.
Yes, we are getting there soon.
Okay, so early millionaires. Early millionaires.
Big things only.
You can have your seat. So we are going to be going to a question and answer session. So if you have any question, kindly raise up your hand.
Please,
and then there are officials for you. Just 2 questions. First person to raise up their hand.
Smart.
Okay, we have 1 person there. Second person. Did you raise up your hand? Okay. The second person. Second question. Okay, we have another person there.
Good day. My name is Basi. Okay, ma. I just want to ask. You gave us 7 tools, but I don't think we got the 5th one. I don't think we got the 5th tool. You gave us 7 tools. Wow.
You said I gave you how many tools? 5. Let me run through them quickly. I talked about expensing and budgeting, right? I talked about setting financial goals. I talked about saving money. I talked about debt and credit management, even though I skipped that because I believe that nobody here, well, arguably should be in debt, right? Is there anybody in debt here? We reject it. Then I talked about having emergency funds. I talked about risk management and insurance. I talked about tracking your finances, right? And I talked about investing, making it 8 actually. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that amazing question. So I don't think we'll be able to take the second question now. So we are just going to be talking about the amazing sponsors that are here. We have an amazing sponsor, LSJ Regal. Please put your hands together for that brand. That brand's motto is modesty and royalty. It's a fashion brand that promotes modesty in youths, adults, and everybody around. Please put your hands together for LSJ Regals again. We also have Stanbic IBTC Bank, pardon me, and that bank is actually very, very perfect. So you guys should go outside and check what they have. So this session, we have like a giveaway session, and you guys should just make sure you get it, because we have goodies for you.
All right. So before we go to the giveaway, right? Mrs. Shola said something about investment scams, and 500 level students in the house, make some noise. 500 level students. Now, there was something that happened at our 100 level. I don't know if you guys can remember. It went by the term loom. How many of us can remember loom? It was a very dark period in this school. So for the Indomie generation and children's church in the house, so this was how loom worked. It was a simple referral scam, right? So there was this graph also, like one description. So you start from outside and then you keep on referring guys, and you go to the middle, bring 5,000, all that stuff. I was a victim. They said that when you drop your money, you fly to the middle. I flew bus for 2 months after that. All right. So let's move on to the LSG Regal questions. Yes. Now I'll be asking for the sake of this giveaway. Let me go up. For the sake of this giveaway, I'll be asking.
You can answer. I'll give you the mic to answer it.
Yes. So I'll be asking questions of things that we see on campus all the time, but we never take notice of. If you know me very well, you know that this is a game that I play in every event I'm hosting, right? So these are things that you've interacted with one way or the other, but maybe you just dip it or something. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. So, what is the capacity of LT2? What is the capacity of LT2?
Okay, we have somebody here, Guinea. We have someone here.
What is the capacity of LT2? I mean, we see, before the person answers, we see that board every single day, right? But you won't look at the number. All right, is someone there? All right, capacity of LT2.
2,236.
LT2 is the smaller LT. It's wrong, I'm so sorry. All right.
1,236.
LT2.
1,232.
Wrong. All right, does somebody have a good answer for me? Right?
Okay, somebody's here.
Someone is here. Wait.
Okay, you first, Guinea.
1,632.
1,600. That's too much. There's no 1,006. Jenny, do you have someone there? Somebody's here. Where? What's the person? All right.
1,147.
1,147. You're close, but that's not the correct answer. I'm coming.
1,046.
1,046. Can you have classes in that capacity? All right. What did you say?
Don't I say 1,147?
1,147. No, that's not the correct answer. Does anybody have a correct answer for me?
Someone is here, Guinea.
We're getting close.
Hello?
1,190.
1,190. No, that is not the capacity of LT2. Last person, then I move on to my next question.
Last person.
All right.
Calculating the chairs that have broken.
Let's say all these engineering boys.
Let's put it about 969.
969.
Yeah, the chairs that have broken.
That's wrong. The capacity of LT2 is 1,136. 1,136. Now, I want to ask a question about something inside here. Who wants to? I need a volunteer, but you have to back. Who wants to volunteer for my next question? Who wants to? All right, come. All right, but you have to face there. Wait, make I just look. All right. Hey, look for it. How many picture frames are currently in this auditorium? How many picture frames? If you do your eye anyhow. 6? No, it's wrong. And it's a one-time question because I can't ask you. Everybody has said there are 3 wall frames. Nobody wants to win these scrunchies. Okay, let's go to LT1. Capacity of LT1 quickly. Capacity of LT1. You know what? I'll do you guys the honors. I'll give you guys the first 2 figures. It's 2-3. Let me just. This guy, he has already lapsed it.
Guinea, someone is here.
All right, thank you. 2-3. So just give me the last 2 figures.
5-2.
2-3-5-2. Correct. Correct. Please put your hands together for her.
Please put your hands together for her.
All right. Now, what is written on the signboard in front of chapel? There is a very big billboard in front of chapel. What is written there?
Someone is. Can
Campus on fire.
Campus on
Fire.
is all correct.
Who else? Okay.
All right. Sorry. I mean,
Campus on fire for Jesus.
Campus on fire for Jesus. Ladies, let's chorus it together. Campus on what? Fire for Jesus. Please give her a scrunchie. All right.
Can you make the question simple, oh, please?
Okay, let's talk about this program. Now, this is quite interesting because all of us did this. All of us participated in this. What was the registration link for this program? The registration link. TC, please do not flash the image. What was the registration link? The bit.ly link. What was it?
bit.ly /EMC 2023.
No, it's this baby shooting in front of you. She did check out.
bit.ly /EMC.
Yes, I heard someone. Sorry. Can I hear that again?
bit.ly /EMC 2023.
Nah, that's wrong.
bit.ly bit.ly /EMCOMF 2020.
TC, you are aiding and abetting. Wow, TC has spoiled our game for us. Okay.
Gini, they said she's correct though. Are you sure?
Did she say EMF?
Yes, MF.
What did she say?
bit.ly /EMCOMF 2023.
Bit.ny, is that Google?
Yes, bit.ly.
Okay.
She got it now.
All right,
please put yours together for her,
put yours together for
Jare.
her.
You're getting a scrunchie after. Are there more games or is that all?
No, that's all. I think our next speaker is ready.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'll be welcoming our fourth speaker for the day. But before I welcome him, I believe all of us are enjoying this program. Are we?
Yes, we
If you're
are.
ready, I say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll be inviting our next speaker, who is also the convener of this special program. And wait, it doesn't stop there. Most importantly, today is his birthday. All right, so I don't know. We've been reading the citations, so I think everybody's ready wants to see you, but let's put our attention on the screen for his citation. Thank you very much.
Waduro Okunade is a financial giant who has conquered the realms of finance. He's a TEDx speaker, CEO of 6 companies, and has raised millionaires through his mentorship platforms. He's also the founder and lead analyst of Trade with Bolu, with over 2,000 enrolled students in various courses. Waduro is the CEO and co-founder of Z Realty, a company committed to making landed property accessible to Gen Z, and Vestucation, a company committed to simplifying investment education. He is also a certified Microsoft specialist. Waduro Okunade is a man running with a vision to make people legitimately wealthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, with all the love in our hearts, please put your hands together as we invite Waduro Okunade. Keep clapping.
Keep clapping till he gets here. Thank you so much.
Come on, make it louder. Early Millionaires. Wow, the energy is high. Okay. I have a few minutes, but nobody can beat me, Abi. Right. So before I move on, I want to specially thank, the CUFS platform, super amazing set of people. But beyond that, I want to take extensive time to thank our Dean CMSS. Can we put our hands together for her? You people don't know, let me use the current slang that is in vogue. You people don't know the idon that we pulled in 1 week with the help of this woman. Let's put our hands together for her again. Right, and we also have the HOD of economics here. Help me put our hands together for her. You have no idea. I just met them, I think it was 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, I almost have no business with CMSS building, but I sat down in their offices and we were to do some plus and minuses here. And I just looked at her and she had the heart of a mother. And within that time to now, the help that they did for us We could not have done it in 6 months. They covered it in less than 6 days. Let's put our hands together for her again. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. I'm honestly very honored to have had their support throughout the program, right? Can we get started? Come on, give me feedback. Can we get started? Are you ready? I'm going to do an activity quickly. They were meant to give me Lavalia, but I don't know. I'll fight with them later, right? So I've done this before, but I'll always do it almost anywhere I get to speak. Are you with me? So let's follow me as I just do this together. So I'm just going to tear these few pieces of paper. Are you looking at me? Are you with me? Can we do that? And we go along with me, right? Is that fine? So I'm like, where's this guy going? He has come again. Okay, thank you. Can we check the other one? Can we count together? 3, 2, 1. Go. When I say 3, 2, 1, you shout go. 3, 2, 1. Go. All paper, right? Okay, amazing. I'll do one last one because of time. 3, 2, 1. Go. It's interesting. One last one. 3, 2, 1. Go. Amazing. Okay? And let's do the final one. 3, 2, 1. Go or no? Why? Why now? Chase paper we have been tearing this morning. So your goal was loud. Can we do it again? 3, 2, 1. I should give you. You can help me tear it, Abi. That's what you do for a living. You're a professional tearer. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I should give you. Who is you? Come on, take it. No, I have to screen this lady. Thank you so much. That's the reason why I did that. Oh, give it to him. Give it to her, Jerry. Okay. I won't separate fight outside you. Okay, that's the reason why I did that. And my question is it not paper? It's a simple question, right? This is paper, that is paper. Why do you say go and later change to what? Why is it so important? I remember when I was in secondary school and I sat down and something happened. I was sitting down and, I used to be the chapel prefect. What we currently have, the version is the student chaplain now. And, I went to a particular class during night prep. How many of you did night prep? No, I didn't say how many of you had it in this. How many of you truly observed it? We used to do during night prep, right? And I was there. So I just went round the classes and I got to a particular class. And I saw, a lady, and I think she was doing something that wasn't so accurate. And I remember I just lightly cautioned her, like, how far now? And then I left. And then, unknowingly to me, we had the student chaplain, and then we had, the staff chaplain. So the staff chaplain, for some reason, I don't know, went to that class the next day, and she was doing the same thing. And then, it's a big deal. They took out an assembly, punished her, and shenanigans. And it looked like I was the one that went to go and do what? I was the one that went to go and snitch, right? So I didn't know anything about this. So the lady's mother came to school. And when she came to school, she was ranting, she was shouting, how will you bring my daughter? Can you call? And then I had an assistant. And when you are looking for people to defend you, how many of you have had those instances? Were you not there? Me? There? Where? I made up my life in this school. SDC, I will not be there. Even witness, I will not be there. Are you with me? And my assistant student chaplain, that version, I looked at him. I said, were you not there? Did I report? And the guy's mouth was quiet. Chairman, you assist me. Were you not there? And the woman came and made a public mockery of me in school. shouting at me on the walkway. And I looked and I found out that this lady was the one paying that guy's school fees. So there's no burn to say whether or not she was wrong or not. Are you following what I'm saying? The entire management from top to bottom sealed. Because on prize giving day, she will give them money for sponsorships and all of that. So the day she was shouting, ranting, wrecking. My mother is a Yoruba. How many of you have Yoruba mothers here? My mom came, she didn't know whether I was wrong, whether I was right, and she just saw somebody shouting. What did she do? Fire for fire. And I saw something that was a landmark in my life. That money shut the mouth of people. That was the first encounter. I said, in my life, nobody will shut my mouth because of money. Nobody will shut the truth because of money. I remember that was a landmark event. Fast forward to when I was about to leave school. I'm telling all these stories for a reason. My slides are really quick. I was about to leave school and something somehow, somewhere happened. I remember, I think I've said it here before. My father called me a few minutes to jam, or a few days to jam. He said, Bolu. I said, yes, Daddy. How are you doing? How is jam? I said, what? It's fine. He said, help us and check if you can change your university from Covenant University to another university. If there's still space in Unilag. I said, what happened? Why do you want to change me from where? Covenant to where? Unilag. My daddy said, we don't think we can cover the fees of both you and your what? And your brother. Because we were not poor. I knew they had money. That's when I knew poverty was. I didn't used to think that people can get poor. I thought, oh, once you are rich, you are rich. I saw the reality. For some reason I cannot explain. And I remember sitting down there. Eventually the Lord helped me. I got a scholarship. But I vowed. I said, this is how they would have changed the course of my destiny. Look at me today. What if I was in Unilag? You think this would be here? This is what the devil saw. And I remember sitting down there. And I made a strange commitment that year. I was in 200 level. Some people were in my room that year. I said, before I turn 18, I was going to read 100 books on finances. Anyhow, I was going to do it. I didn't care. I was going to study 100 materials on finances. I said, if this thing is a law, then it must what? It must work. And I began to study and study and study and study. And a large chunk of those principles have been covered. And I'm here to speak on something. Can I have my slides? Which I found out, which is really amazing. Visionary millionaires catching the vision early for a successful financial future. Let's go to the next slide. There's a terrible song that we used to sing, right? Que sera, sera. Help me. Go on. All of us were trim out on assembly. Up to now, I still don't know some things in assembly, right? Whatever will be, will what? I have a Christian worldview, and I was studying one day. It's a popular scripture, and I stumbled upon something again. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. It's a popular scripture, but I'm going to start from there. Please pay serious attention. I don't know if you have it for me. It says, this book of the law shall not what? But thou shalt meditate on it what? That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written what? I've read this scripture. I was a student chaplain, for God's sake. By the time they say, I've completed it for them. I've completed it for them. But one day I was studying, and I saw some words that stuck out to me. Put it back on the screen, please. Then thou shalt make thy way. And I came up with one of my philosophies in life. Right? Let's go back to my slides. I realized, and this is a very heavy philosophy for me, tomorrow does not exist. Because if he told me that I'm going to make my way, it means the way does not exist. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I came up with an equation. Pull up to the next slide. I'm going to run through quickly. I said tomorrow has an equation. Tomorrow is equal to today plus time plus your actions. Can we say that together? Tomorrow, come on, give me feedback. Tomorrow, say it again. Say tomorrow. There's one voice speaking to my head that should give the loudest person giveaway. But I'm casting the voice of the devil. I say, no, it can't be. Right? It's Dr. Stephen that will do that. Are you with me? So let's say it again. Say tomorrow. I am not doing giveaway. Say it again. Say tomorrow is equal to today plus time plus my actions. Say, let's personalize it. Say my tomorrow is equal to today plus time plus my actions. When I read that, I say wahala. I said, so it doesn't exist. Nobody's future exists here. Are you with me? If a man and a woman should get married today, are you aware that there is a level of predictability if they have no childbearing issues? If they sleep with each other in 9 months, we should see what? A child. Are you with me? It shouldn't be a miracle. Are you sure what I'm saying? So there's a predictable outcome if you take some actions today. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I used to have this thing that, they say, whoever will be rich. How many of you have heard that? Whoever will be rich will be rich. Are you with me? Right? They say if everybody is rich, who will the rich now employ? Why should it be me that will be employed? What do we do? They say, all fingers are not equal. Must you be the short one? You follow what I'm saying? Me, I want to be the tall finger. And so I started, being very, very, very intentional about tomorrow. Somebody say tomorrow. I lived a very weird young life, and I don't regret it. Are you with me? I don't regret it. And I'm going to tell you some of those things. Let's move 2 slides. I don't have time to show you some statistics because of time. Can we move? No, pull up to the next slide. Pause here. I began to do a lot of studies, right? I like to read. You know the way people discipline themselves to read? No, I don't discipline myself to read. I discipline myself not to read. That's just how it is. I don't know how to explain how it began to happen. I have audiobooks. If you ever see me on the road, you'll see me with, my earpiece. I finish books on the road to class. I don't use shuttle. I walk so that I can cover that distance. And within that distance, I'm covering audiobooks. And I was studying this material. And I found out something, that the way the brain is wired is such that when you give the brain a task, when you give the brain a goal, I wish I had those studies, but we don't have time. The brain automatically begins to organize itself to chart a course. Are you following what I'm saying? To get to that goal. Which is what I think is the greatest advantage of my life. Are you following what I'm saying? Let's move on to the next slide because of time. I have a quote here. You haven't started living until you know what you are not meant to do, which is a byproduct of knowing what you are meant to do. You hear what I said? You haven't started what? Living until you know what you are not what? Meant to do. Which is a byproduct of knowing what you are what? Meant to do. And I know I'm starting on this plane. Now, what is vision? I want you to pay serious attention to me. What is vision? Pay attention. Can I have my slides back? Back on the next one. This is not the definition I read in a book. Vision is the ability to see tomorrow, and as a result, your actions today are constrained to align to birth the tomorrow that you see. Did you hear what I said? So starting from a very young age, I just found out the Lord trained me in a very weird way, right? Let's move on to my next. I call it reverse tutoring. I will just sit down and I'll just do some things. I will not do some things. And it's later I started understanding why. For example, I came into school, 100 level, 200 level. I woke up one morning, I remember I was doing stuff, and the Lord told me, get out of social media. I didn't really understand why. So I got off the place. And then, people were insulting me. Are you on Instagram? Are you on, I said, I'm not on Instagram. If you want to talk to me, send me what? An email. In 200 level, you couldn't reach me via Instagram, via Telegram, any of the grams. Are you with me? You could only send me an email. That's the only thing you could do. Now, it's later I began to read Deep Work by Cal Newport, Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, and I started realizing that a core disadvantage that our generation has is the heavy impulse nature of distractions. And it's not just that we are distracted. It is tearing down our ability to focus on one thing for long. And let me tell you, if you're going to build wealth, it's not always a case of many things. It's most times a case of one thing for long. Are you with me? So I stayed back in school. I started my first business then. My first business was a trading business, right? Trading Forex. And I read 90% of Forex traders, they do what? How many of you have invested in Forex traders before? Right? Once some people hear Forex, it got so bad. I remember telling my team, I said, I have to rebrand myself as a real estate person because, it's one of the companies. I can't, because once you hear you're a Forex trader, you're a young boy, you're a millionaire, already, something is wrong somewhere. And that's why I dress very responsibly, just to help them balance that. Because if I wear, slippers and slides, the way our country is. And so everywhere I go, you will never see me, I don't even have jeans, you will never see me do all those things. I had to use good dressing to shock, the terrible mentality that young people should not have money at an early age. So I remember starting off that business. I read that 90% of them don't succeed. I said, wow. So I did the math. How many are we in this world? Let's imagine we're what? 1 billion, right? Let's just imagine we're 10 billion. If 90% fail, how many people have failed? Come on, how many people have failed? Some of you, if you even see 9 billion, talk less of 9 billion people. I said, we can't give this a normal approach. So I remember going off. I stayed back in school, and I went to I stayed back then, and I used to go to the library. So I spent 9 hours per day. 9 hours, morning till night. I'll be on my charts, marking and drawing, turning and turning and turning. I remember one day, doing those trading processes, when they tell you, how many of you have done, most times they don't scam you. You are the one that is a scam. They just bring the inner potential within you, right? So the way you say, I used $10. I got what? $1. I mean, no Sabinus. You now do the math. I remember. I'll tell you. So I use $1. If I use $100, I'll get what? $10. If I use $1,000, I'll get what? Let's go. So I remember back then, my daddy just sent me my allowance. I saved up all my savings. I can't remember. I can't forget. $200 was $72K then. Now $200 is how much? $140K. 2 times 7 years, about 140,000. $72K. So I took all the money. It was during class, right? Threw everything inside. What are they telling me? Then suddenly the network CSIS. The network didn't go again. I said, God. By the time I came, they were doing lecture in class. It was a GSC lecture. Philosophy. I wasn't hearing what that woman was saying. I was gone. Uluwajo. Jesus, please. I won't eat. By the time I went out, all the money was gone. When you are in class, when you start class in class, how many of you know what I'm talking about? I was in front row. I don't sit at the back in class. I sit at the front row. Every class, you see me at the front row. I was gone. The woman was talking. I was just seeing hands moving. I was not hearing anything. That was all my allowance. And I remember going back, studying and spending extensive hours. It is now that I'm realizing that the reason I could spend extensive hours to study is because the distractions were eliminated. Get what I'm saying? I wasn't on, you know, these things that you do, after reading small, you just swipe. There was nothing to swipe up. It's not like I was disciplined. There was just not any avenue to be indisciplined. It's later I started realizing that focus force gave me dangerous speed in finances. Are you following what I'm saying? Remember, I said when you know not what to do, what you're not meant to do, you go on. When you know exactly what you're not meant to do, you have started what? Living. Let's move on. There are a few things I want to point out on vision. Listen, this is why it's important. As a matter of fact, that's why we have the name Early Millionaires. In case you don't know, the whole idea of Early Millionaires is not to stir up an unhealthy desire for you to make millions and beat processes. No. The whole concept of Early Millionaires is very simple. I'm going to explain it. Listen. Come, let me have two people, for example. Any random two people, come. Wahala. You say, what? Okay, come. This is what I found out. Don't stand here, please. I want you to pay attention to me. The first advantage of vision, listen, is what I call the irresponsible money concept. I want you to pay attention to me. Let's say this is, what's your name? Somto. And this is Fermi. Good. Let's say Somto is in, like me, you know, second, you know, that's part of the things that, anyway, I don't have time to pull that. Somto is in, let's say, 100 level. Let's say this guy has graduated, let's say he's in his 30s or in his 40s. Are you following what I'm saying? Pay attention. Now, something happens. You get a miracle job, right? You get a tech job. And how many of you know tech bros are the ones that are cashing out, right? How many of you know that? And you know, they pay them ridiculous amount, you know, starting fee. Because you are just entering the system, we'll help you, we'll pay you a minimal stipend of $10,000 per month. Please, stipend me. How many of you have heard ridiculous things like that? Stipend is $25,000, right? And then we're sorry, please just manage it, right? It's because you're entry level. Once you can prove to us that you have, prove what? Good. So listen, now he has $10,000. That's $7.5 million. Pay attention. This guy is 30 years old. He is married. He has children. Are you following me? He gets 7.5 million. He gets 7.5 million. Pay attention to me. Do you know that this guy's 7.5 million? Let's imagine he's single. Are you following what I'm saying? Like some of you here, hey man. Valentine's Day, you are sleeping. That's actually part of the advantages of being single. You can't build wealth. Are you following what I'm saying? Yes, you don't have commitments. Yes, keep quiet. You're not single by choice. You not see, baby. Pay attention to me. So this guy has 7.5 million. Listen, this guy has 7.5 million. This is where I want you to pay 101% attention. Do you know that the entire way this guy, you know the funny part, like some of you do, your parents don't even know you're earning that much money. So 7.5 million, daddy will not send you 40K. I tell you to manage. You say, don't worry, daddy. I know you are trying. It's well. It will be okay. You know what I'm saying? You say, you're any more than you own. And so listen, 7.5 million guy has it. Listen carefully, please. The entire 7.5 million, the degree to which he can save, invest, is all tied to one key factor usually. Everybody say personal discipline. Look at this guy. He's 30, 35. The degree to which he can save is not tied to personal discipline. Will he tell his children to stay home that is on a savings plan? Imagine your father told you that you are not going to school. You know, I've heard so much from Dr. Stephen today, so we'll be buying land. We'll go and be checking out the land. We'll go as a family for a whole year. No. Whether or not he likes it, he must buy fuel in the gen. Whether or not he likes it, he must run the cars. Are you with me? The car spoils. He must do that. So are you listening? So no matter how personally disciplined this guy is, there's a limit to how much he can chunk out. Pay attention. to push into wealth creation vehicles. Are you following what I'm saying? You see this concept, I call it irresponsible money. Money that does not yet have responsibility. If you are responsible with irresponsible money, I'm telling you, you have crazy advantage. Let me show you something. Let me tell you something. Pull up to my charts. When I said, let's take a look at this. I'm coming. Just let's take a look at this. That's one with this chart. I read this book in The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. Quickly, please. I'm running out of time. Up on this screen. Zoom in. Zoom in. Can you zoom in? No, can you zoom in? I didn't say can you see it. Don't worry, I know you can't see it. You can't zoom in? Okay, I'll help you. Look at this guy. There are 3 columns here. In the first column, there is a guy called Billy. Follow me. You guys can sit down. I think this example will do it. Billy started saving 3,000 pounds when he was 15. Somebody say 15. And he saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 years. In total, how much did he save? How much did he save in total? 15,000 pounds. Are you following me? The next person started investing at age 19 and was investing 3,000 pounds at age 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. How much is that? I did it intentionally. I knew you were not paying attention. Now pay attention. Let's go again. Please, could you just help me? Don't worry, I'll read it like that. I'm out of time. Everybody put your hands together for TCE. Okay, so let's read 19, 20, 21. Let's count together. Let's go. 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 7. 3 times what? How much did the first person invest? How much did the second person invest? Can you see the third person? Should we count it or we should just leave it? What's the total amount at the end? Should I tell you? Can you go down to this slide? I don't know why it's not showing. If you guys can't, I'll read it. By the end of Billy's year, that's the first person who invested 15,000 pounds. Billy has 1,615,363. The second person who invested, 7 times 21,000 has 1 million. Now all of them are doing if they, don't touch that money, and it compounds at a 10% interest till they are 65. The second person has 1,552,000, and the guy who has been investing 3K. Should I tell you how much he has? 1.3 million pounds. What did Billy do better? Did he invest more or did he start early? There are basic delayed gratifications that can change your wealth game. Are you following what I'm saying? I remember when I came to this school by scholarship. My neighbor gave me, I think 15,000 naira. The whole shopping for my school resumption was with 15,000 naira. We had spent 9,000 naira. My father couldn't kill himself. He didn't have the money. 6,000 naira I came to school. When I came into school, they told me that I needed to pay my course dues. My courses were 4,000, and I needed to buy TD boards. TD board was what? By the first day, I was already in net minus. You know when I came 2 weeks late. So you know when you're already scattered. You're not going, one course, like, you don't even know each other in 100 level. It's not telling you that you have to pay for. I said, for what? Why do I have to pay 4,000 naira? It's no fight. And now it's one thing, there's a difference between when you are broke, you don't have money. When you are broken, you don't know when next you will have money. So I wasn't broke. I was what? I remember sitting down there. I have to run away from this course rep. That's the first thing. He must not see me. And the next thing is, I can't even buy that TD board. So I started scouting, and I was able to get one. But listen, and I think, something happened. My parents now had a breakthrough, so they began to send money how they could. As little as it was, when Pastor Steve was saying that he used to eat in Bashan, are you with me? The first time I bought Pringles in this school, I think it was in 200-300 level. There are some sections that I didn't bother to go to in school. There's no point. It's not fate. I can't. What you are selling is my entire net worth. So I remember when I'm going to CAF, was to just draw near, and I'm with a group of friends and say, pause. You have your money right? You have your money right? I'm not buying food for what? Anybody. Then I used to spend 400 naira a day, 300 naira for a pack of food, and the 100 naira was just if the Lord had mercy on me, right? Are you with me? I'm not joking. I will buy donuts and sausage, then it used to be 50 naira. And then I won't buy water. So I'll eat it very slowly so it doesn't choke me, because I don't have money for water. I'm not joking. God. You would think I'm joking. I'm eating. Because I had to save from that money. As little as it was, I didn't spend everything. And I remember saving here and saving there and saving here and saving there. All that began to cumulatively build. Are you following what I'm saying? Because I had a what? I had a vision. I wasn't seeing today. I remember as broke as I was talking like this. I said, when I'm in 200 level, I'll be paying my school fees. When I'm in 200 level, I'll be paying my school fees. I remember I was shouting in SS3. It was about 3 weeks to 200 level. You know those people that don't used to forget? Sir, good afternoon, sir. And what? Sir, we're almost in 200 level. Are you following what I'm saying? Irresponsible money. I think that's the heaviest advantage. There's a young man, you know, one of the companies we own helps young people get real estate property. The guy's a photographer, right? And then, you know, I do property consulting for him. And I sat down with the guy, helped him build his property portfolio. Between, you know, November and March, the guy had grown over 6 million because he strategically invested. How many invest? 1 million, 1.5, small money. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, you know what will happen? He will have 6 million extra to do what? Build wealth. Some of you, you are eating your future tomorrow and wondering why it is empty. You know what I found out? It's not even, you don't have to be, I know you can start a business, but not even start a business. Small basic steps. Are you following what I'm saying? I want to run through very quickly. The second advantage you have right now is, I call it the 10 steps concept as I round up. And what's the 10 steps concept? It's very simple. Come. I found out that in the field, you are not paid simply because you have spent time. You have paid because of how much value. Are you with me? Something happened to me one day. I have a training, you know, I have a mentorship program like that. And you know, when I was gathering knowledge, I was signing up for people's mentorship programs. They call ridiculous amounts. Mentorship program is $10,000. Mentorship program is $50,000. And I remember when I get into the mentorship program, I'll now be looking. Some days what they are teaching is sir, you should sign up for my mentorship program. I didn't have a mentorship program then. But I realized that they were not just paid by what they were saying, because they have spent time in an industry. Their name had gained weight, so they could charge ridiculous amounts. Are you with me? The 10-step concept is very simple. This is why you must catch a vision early. Very simple. Take a look at me. This is what many of us are doing. Oh, sir, what do you say you do again? I do Forex. Okay. Is there a Forex course? Yes. Let me buy it. 1, 2, 3. And then you are scrolling on Instagram. As you scroll on Instagram, you see one of your friends. You know the way people do all these flashy life things, right? I said, what do you do? I do affiliate marketing. What will you do? You do affiliate marketing. That's how you became rich. There's no problem. You go back again, and you do what? You take how many steps again? 1, 2, 3. Are you following what I'm saying? How many steps in total? And as you are doing affiliate marketing, one of the guys says, come. Affiliate marketing is not the way. Dr. Stephen Akintel just left here. Or Pastor Steve just left here. He told you he was selling bonds. Let's get into a food business. What do? You leave that one again. You come here. How many steps do you take? 1, 2, 3. How many steps in total? Let's imagine you took one here. That makes it what? How many steps have you taken in total? And let me tell you, every business has its threshold of success. You will spend some time. And what? Who is ahead? This guy or that guy? They have both taken 10 steps, but that one has taken 10 varying steps. And that's a challenge I'm seeing in this generation. Ask somebody, what do you do one day? He said, I do everything. I said, the reason why you are nowhere is because you are too everywhere. You're doing everything. You're not going to build wealth like that. Some of you, it's in your investments. You move the money from stock. You invest in bamboo today. By tomorrow, you move it to rice vest. By tomorrow, you move it to... why? What you are doing. What matters is what you are seeing while you are doing it. Say that with me. It doesn't matter what you are doing. It matters what you are seeing while you are doing it. Tomorrow must power your actions of today. Are you with me? I wouldn't go for some parties, not because I don't have the money. Not because I don't even, there's some certain things I won't do. I remember when I was in 200 level, that's when I earned my first million. And I was sitting down there, and there are a lot of things I could have done. I bought my first iPhone when I was in like 400 level. Are you with me? And I remember, I said, no, we must build wealth first. We must build wealth first. I started looking for properties to buy, 200 level. So, you know, some things when you say it, you don't look okay. That's why I started looking for properties. I remember my first deposit for a property, 200 level. I mean, 500 level, it has done 500% increase. I won't give you figures. Are you with me? It wasn't too much money, but I was seeing tomorrow. I was seeing tomorrow. Some of you, like I said, little constriction. You must see what? Tomorrow. It's very important. You've got to have that vision. Why am I not spending everything? I'm seeing what? Tomorrow. Why am I not going to carry and just buy unnecessary things? I'm seeing what? Tomorrow. This is the period of irresponsible money. You will never have it in your life again. Are you following what I'm saying? Warren Buffett had a very strange advantage. Y'all think Warren Buffett is rich? He's not the best investor. There's another investor who has averaged 30% per year. But Warren Buffett started at what? Age 11. Tell your neighbor, see tomorrow. Come on, say it again. Say, see tomorrow. Let it power your today. Does that make sense? Right, so thank you so much. Before I go, just like other speakers, we have an offer for you. This is the most stressful thing I do in my life every year. I have 6 companies. If I tell you this is the most stressful thing, believe me, that is the most stressful thing. I take out time to train people every single year for 6 months, theory training. The remaining 6 months, I mean, it's when I oversee your business. I have a very high intelligence, by God's grace, when it comes to SMEs, scaling you up. Are you with me? We call it the Bolo Okade Mentorship Program, and we take in only 100 people within 6 months. We're giving you a special offer. If you want, you don't have to, but it's not by force. Anyways, what I say, if you want a special offer, so it's 100,000 naira. It's so much money. That's fine. It's not by what? People are angry with me. It's not by what? But we're going to allow you to do something today. So we allow people make a 10,000 naira deposit and spread your balance over 6 months. However, we're doing a special offer for you today. And what that simply means is if you come as a group of 5, right? Maybe you and your 4 friends. So some of you just ask anybody, are you paying? Are you paying? Are you paying? Are you paying? Instead of you paying 100,000, we will allow you pay 80,000. So we'll give you 100,000 naira discount. How many of you are excited about that? Right? And what we're going to do, we will still allow you make your 10,000 deposit, and then you can spread your payment all the way till December. Does that make sense? Right? So, thank you so much. And okay, a note is also reaching me. If you're interested in real estate, you want to, start your real estate investment, we also have a consultancy company. We're going to train you. We're going to help you on your property development and acquisition. It's called Z-Realty. Realtorship for Gen Z. Does that make sense? They have a stand outside, and they are going to help you with all of that. Can we put our hands together for... Okay. And I have a text from Ms. Sholade Shakin. Please listen. Ms. Sholade's books are outside. If you're interested in getting any of her books, please ensure that you hit the stand outside, right? And lastly, I'm excited to announce to us that Stanbic IBTC is present. How many of you are excited about that? They came with money, you clap. Right, so they are going to, I think the MC is going to take over. They are here with souvenirs, they are here with some opportunities, and they are here with also some investment opportunities, which I think is something that you should be ready to take advantage of. Does that make sense? So please don't leave. They're going to have souvenirs here and there for you, right? So everything I mentioned, the stands are outside for various, various, what do you call them, speakers. Please find them and reach out to them appropriately. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.
That was very insightful. From 400 naira to 1 million, 1.5 million, small money. When you say, my heart skip the beats, like 1 million, small money. May we get there in Jesus' name. Please put your hands together for him again. Okay, so we are going further to the giveaway question, and it's first come, first serve as usual. So I'm going to be asking one question, and the first hand I see is where the microphone is going to. Okay, so this question, the winner gets a book, not scrunchies this time. The winner gets a book. Okay, so who is the founder of CUFS, a name, and the course she studied? The founder of CUFS, which is the Covenant University Finance Society, her name, and the course she studied. Okay, can someone get the mic to her? Please, someone should get it. Please stand up so that we can see you. Someone should please get the mic to her. Thank you. Please put your hands together for her.
Okay, the founder of CUFS is Ifeanyi Obata, and she studied economics.
Hey, put your hands together for her. She got it. So you're going to get your book after now. Economic students in the house, make some noise. Yes, so we are doing amazing things. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have learned something, but I've definitely learned a lot from this session. Definitely the way we walk will be different, the way we talk will be different, our aura will be different, and everything about us will be different. Is there anybody that would like to share one or two things they've learned from what we've done today? Anybody that would like to impact us with your knowledge? We are millionaires now. We always have something to say. Okay, someone's raising up her hand there. Can we get the mic to her, please? Thank you. Future millionaires in the house, put your hands together for her.
Hi everybody, so my name is Ashley Manuela from Accounting 300 level. So I'm so grateful that, thank you, I'm so grateful that I came for today's program because I learned that starting early is an asset. Thank you.
Okay, starting early is an asset. Yeah, what I learned is that don't be depressed. When you are seeing all these people posting all these things on social media, they are doing fake it till you make it. You actually invest in yourself for you to actually make it, not fake it. Do we get that? Okay, Guinea, are we ready?
All right.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Shola was asking us about the different books we've read, and I want to continue, right? So, how many of us have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? How many of us have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Can I see your hands? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, how many of us have read The Richest Man in Babylon? How many of us have read The Richest Man in Babylon? How many of us have read Deep Work? Deep Work. How many of us have read Deep Work? How many of us have read our TMC and DLD notes? Yes. How many of us?
Okay, I'm seeing some hands.
All right, that's all for... now, we started a discourse earlier in the program asking people questions of if you had the option between $1 million and a dinner with Aliko Dangote, which would you pick? So I want to go to the elevations right now, just ask them what you guys think.
Okay,
so you
so
give me reasons why you're selecting either of the options, and everybody will evaluate if you have made the right choice or not. So 1 million or dinner with Dangote. All right, thank you. Please introduce yourself.
Good day, everyone. My name is Precious, and I will pick a dinner with Dangote. So I believe that knowledge is wealth, and while we are eating, we won't just be eating. Basically, we would have discussions, and basically he will talk to me about things. And so through the knowledge I get from that dinner, I can make $1 million. That's my reason.
Okay, put your hands together for all.
How many of us agree? So you and
Guinea, someone
Dangote,
is here.
you'll be eating, right? Is the food
Is it by
translating to
food?
wealth?
No.
Well, I
Guinea,
don't have
somebody
an-
is here.
All right, please give the person. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. My name is Haniel. If we're being very realistic, I think $1 million is a better option because $1 million can give you guarantee to meet Dangote any other time. But just a dinner with Dangote cannot guarantee you the $1 million.
Did you hear what he said? He said the $1 million is guaranteed, but the dinner is not, like, it's just food, really. Like, really. And you have to be able to invest in yourself to know if I can actually get the $1 million. Not everybody has that type of investment. So please put your hands together for him.
Okay, for me, after this event, actually, and the knowledge I've gotten, what I will actually pick is $1 million over a meeting with Dangote. So basically, like how Sir Bolu started his whole business study and everything, I'll just keep that $1 million and then study more on finances and everything, then know how I'll invest it and multiply the money.
Yes, I agree with that. Please put your hands together for...
You know, I think it's time I give my answer. Well, it's not a direct answer, but I think I would pick $1 million because imagine you have that dinner with Dangote and when you're done, you're expecting him to just do something and you just shake your hand and say, "Well done, my son. I wish you well in life." And you now text me and say, "Sir, anything for the boys." I'm like, no. You have knowledge. Take knowledge. All right, one more answer. Let me go higher. $1 million of dinner with Dangote. All right, it seems like we're not big fans of food here. All right.
Okay, so my name is Sarah, and I would actually pick a dinner with Dangote because in that way I can make Dangote my own personal brand influencer. I mean, if I have something like a product, maybe I sell clothes or something, I can be like, "Oh, I'm meeting with Dangote." Do you understand that kind of thing? Like, I can take a picture with Dangote and everybody's seeing that I have a picture with Dangote. People would want to obviously patronize my brand and make use of the things that I actually do.
Wow, so just like that, just
All
be
right.
my influencer.
Very
and
smart.
you just wear your clothes. Okay?
Very
okay.
smart. All right, $1 million or dinner with the vice chancellor. I'll report all of you. Let's put our hands together for ourselves. Well, at the end of the day, regardless of whatever it is you're picking, let's all ensure that we are making the right decisions. Let's ensure that what it is that we are doing in the now is helping our future.
Exactly.
Is that fine?
Yes,
Is that fine? All right, let's put our hands together for ourselves one more time. Now, we'll be inviting our last speaker for the day, and as Bolu rightfully... What happened? I thought you guys like knowledge a lot.
No, I think they're like, we are going now. That's the like they are sad that they are going.
Okay, we should extend the program by a few more hours. Right? Early Millionaires.
Hey.
Early Millionaires. Big things only now. All right. So our next speaker is from Stanbic IBTC Bank. And she is no other than Mrs. Modupe Abolarewa. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for her. Guys, louder. The louder you clap, the more money she will give you.
Her Royal Highness.
Before that $1 million, she'll give you something.
Turns hundreds
Okay, I
into
think
millions.
they're playing something.
We, your children you carried on your back, say thank you.
Hey,
Mama
hey.
no they sleep, no they tire. The ever-efficient Chief Operations Officer. Bebe di Bebe.
Hello,
New media
everyone.
marketer, turning lights.
What's up? Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay, don't worry. I know we are tired, so I won't take too much of your time. But it's important to know that this session that you have, you shouldn't take for granted. And I say this because, you know, you've heard so many things as to why you should be intentional about your finances. But then, one thing is still missing. It is, so what should I do next? How do I really start that journey? My name is Modukwe Abolarinwa, and I work with Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. So because when we talk about investments, that's what we do. And if I were to answer my own question of between the $1 million and Dangote, personally, I don't have that irresponsible money that Bolu spoke about. Personally, let me quickly take that quote from George.
I said they are troublesome too, right? I mean, the ones I said, listen to, I said How many of us know that that's what they will first insult you before they now talk about your problem? They might not even answer it very well. They say, oh, this one doesn't know what he's doing. Next.
All right. So please find and ensure that you receive value from this conference. Have an amazing day. If you are a volunteer, please just hang around till around 3:30. If you are a volunteer, please hang around till around 3:30. I will address you guys by 3:30. Thank you guys so much.